dreary, rainy day here, or night, I should say, and we are back. Dragon's Greed Gaming is here, and we are returning to the world of Alien. That's right, the Alien RPG by Free League Publishing. We're delving back into Destroyer of Worlds. This is episode 5, and tonight, the whole crew is back. We got the band back together, so Matt, welcome back. We missed you last week.
Yeah, happy to be back. I'm excited to get caught up and
Well, we'll see how long you stay happy about being back.
see all the corpses along the way.
But as usual, before we get started, be sure you stop by Facebook and give us a like and a follow. Check us out on Spreaker or wherever you get your podcasts. Check us out also on YouTube now. If you're into our Warhammer Fantasy RPG actual play Gallows Geist, we're up to episode 63, I think, right now. So by the time you listen to this, it'll probably be over. But anyway, check it out if you like Warhammer Fantasy. And hopefully you've got some good Halloween plans in store. So without further ado, I am your host, the Great Unclean One. I welcome you all, new listeners and old, as we continue our trek through Destroyer of Worlds and the oil moon of Ariarcus. But before we get too far into that, let's hear from our players. So tell us who you are and who you're playing, and how about this week, tell us your favorite costume you've ever had for Halloween. And we can start off with... who hasn't gone first at this point? I know someone hasn't.
Probably me.
All right. Well, Jessica, you can start us off then.
Hello, I am your local attorney, back for whichever round this is. I am Chaplin, and I am still functioning, is my understanding, so I'm excited to make it to the end. And my favorite... I was a Kung Fu Panda in college.
Nice.
I dig. Like the Kung Fu Panda or just a Kung Fu Panda?
Well,
Nunchuck
I weigh
bro.
like $120, so not like the Kung Fu Panda.
Wow, you could have a big panda suit. I don't know what you do on Saturday nights, so, you know.
Well, we were talking about that earlier.
Oh boy.
Cool. All right. How about Justin? What you got going on?
Hello everyone, Justin back again, and I am playing, still not dead, Zmijewski. And he's still angry, he still doesn't like anybody, and he still loves his belt. So nothing has changed really with him. He's a little disappointed though, because he was a little reckless with his ammo this past session, so he feels like he should be more disciplined. So he's going to make up for that with much more success this time. And I guess
We did get to see the belt in action, though. That was pretty exciting.
Hey, you know what? It dulls as a knife. It's pretty cool. Yeah, my favorite costume, I guess, was whenever I would get really lazy or just forget, or I didn't have particular plans. I would always be like a discount ninja. Just get like a bunch of black stuff. Use a T-shirt to make a mask out of it, and that was it. Yeah, it worked every time, and no one ever saw me coming because ninja. So that was pretty cool.
Okay, I dig it. Cool. Matt, how about you? Tell us stuff. Entertain us.
Are you not entertained? Well, I am Matt, and I'm playing Sergeant Iona. For Halloween costumes, I guess, I guess my favorite go-to costume is a slacker ass costume, which is to say, I put on a flannel top, like the red plaid, straight up workman's shirt, and just pretend I'm Richard Karn, who plays Al Borland in the fake TV show Tool Time, in the real TV show Home Improvement. And
okay.
yeah, it's real easy.
Fun. Do you
That's
look like
super
him?
meta.
I kind of do. You just need a beard and just
He's so
a little bit of
cute.
hair.
Tim the Toolman Taylor.
Yeah, his buddy friend.
I
I
know.
have
I know of it, but I never actually watched that show.
I'm not a huge fan of the show
Home
overall.
Improvement.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
Home
not-
Improvement.
Oh,
Not
the
my-
show.
Not
The
my
show
thing.
when
but
they
anyway.
would do the man, when they would do like the man things, like the man's kitchen or the man's bathroom, or the man's. Oh, dude, those were the best shows.
Cool. How about Sean? What you got for us tonight?
Well, I'm still Sean. That hasn't changed. And I'm still playing Luca Mason, Gunnery Sergeant of indeterminate gender, 42 years old, still trying to keep most of you all alive as best they can.
I think
my
we
favorite-
determined
oh.
that Mason is a male.
Okay. I don't remember determining it, but that's okay. We'll go with male now. Favorite costume was when I was younger, after the Raimi Spider-Man movies came out. I did like a cheap human spider costume from when he's in the ring with Bonesaw.
Oh yeah, and Bruce Campbell as the announcer.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Randy the Macho Man Savage.
That
Lovely.
scene just stuck in my head forever. Just Bonesaw is ready.
Yeah.
I got you
Amazing.
for 3 minutes. Great times.
And last but not least, Ben.
Yeah, Ben, I'm playing Hammer, the psychopath, and let's see if today is the day that I finally die. We're gonna give that a shot, see what happens. I would say best costume I ever wore was fucking Batman. I was Batman.
Nice.
Classic.
Yeah, and that was when I was a kid, obviously. But I wore that costume for 2 weeks. I didn't give no fucks.
As it should be when you're a kid.
Yeah.
I mean, when you feel so much justice coursing through your veins, you don't want to lose that power trip, you know.
It's true. Oh man, I've had a lot of good costumes over the year. Although I'd say probably my two favorite that stuck out. When I was a kid, my mom used to make a lot of my costumes by hand. So she would be sitting at a sewing machine or even just regular needle and thread, and she made some pretty amazing things. But she made one of Spider-Man, which to this day, just the amount of detail and time she put into it was crazy. Because for the black lines of the web on the red parts of his costume, she used like a black glue. So she went through and hand drew these with this fucking glue bottle, and then when they hardened up, it looked 3D. It was actually coming off the texture. So that was pretty legit. And then another year, I was a Dilophosaurus from Jurassic Park because I got my hands on the mask. And again, my mom made the outfit complete with a tail and the giant neck fan collar thing that the Dilophosaurus has. This thing was so big I couldn't fit through a door. That's how wide it was. And it was all spiked on the ends and stuff and super sharp.
Nope,
I don't know
don't
how
like
she
that.
got it to, but it was
That's
awesome.
intense.
Yeah, it was good stuff. So
That thing
Cool.
gave me nightmares. You're talking about the thing that spits in your face in Jurassic Park?
yeah, the one that killed Nedry.
Yeah, that thing scares the shit out of me.
Yeah, I usually didn't wear the neck piece because it was so big and heavy and awkward. If I tried to walk around, I'd knock into people and be knocking shit over. Everybody kept stepping on my tail because I had a tail dragon behind me. Oh man, great stuff. Great stuff. But anyway, we are back to dive into the world of Alien. And so, last we left, for listeners and a little bit for Matt here, who was not with us, the UPP had begun to invade the moon, the planet, and all hell has broken loose. You guys had orders, your last communication with the base, to get back to Fort Nebraska, try to complete your mission if you could, and get back and help defend. So you've been traveling through a hellscape of a war zone trying to get back to the fort. You saved a couple civilians from a UPP firing squad, rather easily, I might add. And then on your way to the fort, you were attacked by a UPP dropship, which opened fire, narrowly missing Sean. You guys did do quite a bit of damage to it, especially Zmijewski took aim and just lit up that cockpit. Unfortunately, it still landed nearby, dropped off a squad of soldiers, which split into two groups trying to find you guys, as you had split into two groups as well. And upon laying an ambush for them, you discovered that they were indeed synthetic soldiers, and quite a fight then began to kind of deteriorate as Hammer basically took on one squad of 4 almost by himself, and you guys eventually managed to disable 4 of them. You dropped another one to 0 health, and eventually the 4 remaining ones that were broken and beaten and wounded eventually retreated back to their dropship and took off. Chaplin took quite a bit of damage and got knocked basically to be incapacitated after getting a chassis breach or something like that, one step away from a server shutdown. And Hammer also ended up getting broken and got I think it was a punctured femoral artery in your leg, something like that.
Correct. Had less than a turn to...
And then Zmijewski, I think, did the medical aid to patch you up. There was an android that got lit on fire, and then there was a knife fight versus a flaming android. There's a lot of good shit that happened last week.
Lots of good shit, boys.
Yeah, it was. What a fight. However, I realized, players, that I had messed 2 things up that had inadvertently made that combat probably a lot harder than it should have been. The first and most important is that I don't think any of those guys, other than the sergeant, are actually supposed to have weapons. I've done a little more research, and I think they just sent in a bunch of dudes without weapons, which at first I was like, that's kind of stupid, but then I thought about, like, the Russians in World War II, and that's exactly what happened. So, if they're willing to do it with people, they probably don't give a fuck about robots, so...
That's true.
Yeah, and I mean, the robots are way more durable, so if they don't, need a weapon, I mean, yeah.
When the guy in front of you falls down, you pick up the rifle.
When the one carrying the rifle dies, the one behind picks it up. So yeah, that probably would have turned out a lot differently, although you still did quite well. The second thing, though, that I completely forgot, this is just something I totally missed. Those androids, because UPP androids are not of the great quality of other countries and entities, they are supposed to roll twice every time they take a critical damage roll. So they have twice the chance of getting fucked up and shutting down. So, obviously we're not going to go back and redo that fight because that'll take forever. So instead, what I have decided in my GM wisdom here is for every critical that you guys should have rolled, I'm going to let one player reduce their stress by 1 point, or you may repair Chaplin with 1 point of health, up to whatever Chaplin started that fight with, which I think was 6, unless I'm mistaken.
Yep, I was full health.
Okay, all right. So, in total, I went back and looked through our crazy combat log here that just never ends. You guys did a total of 8 critical wounds in that fight.
Oh, we're so good.
There should have been 8 more critical damage rolls, which definitely would have resulted in more of them being destroyed. So, with that being said, you have 8 points that you can distribute amongst yourselves to either heal Chaplin or reduce stress, or I suppose heal yourselves as well if anybody is missing wounds. So, however you would like to divvy that up, you guys can make a little discussion about that right now.
Jessica, how many points of damage are you missing?
6.
Oh.
Yeah, because she's at 0, but she had 6 HP.
Well, we should probably... I mean, who else is hurt severely? Because I'm only missing 1 health.
I'm at about half.
1 health.
What's that?
I only have 1 health.
Okay, and then Sean?
I've got 2 right now. And
Matt?
7 stress, but...
Roll
Matt, how-
good amount of stress. 6 stress, 2 health.
Okay, I'm not gonna
What are
take
your
any of the
guys' max
points.
health?
My max health is 5.
That's a good amount.
So,
Just
Mine's 4.
that's 4 for me. So down 2.
yeah, so I'm down
So
1. I'm
it-
not gonna take any
So
points.
Justin and Matt can each take, or is it Sean? Justin and Sean can each take 2 back, and I can take 4, and that's 8.
Are we
Before you
just healing
guys,
stress?
before you guys make your decision, keep in mind that health passively regenerates every turn. You get 1 health back, which is about 10-15
Oh,
minutes
yeah.
in game. Whereas recovering stress requires you to rest, which is a little bit more difficult to do. So, might be prudent to try to reduce some stress. I know some of us were sitting
Just
at
give
like
me
6,
2 or
7, or 8.
3.
So,
Just give
but
me
you
2
guys
or
can do
3, and
whatever
I
you want.
can't take. So
Yeah, let's give Chaplin enough to survive a hit, and still be standing, and then
All right, then
reduce
take
reduce
3.
some stress.
Take 3, and then we'll use the other 5 to reduce stress. I'm at stress 5.
I'm at 7, but honestly, staying high for me is fine because I'll just go into overkill if things get bad.
Yeah, I also have overkill, so I'd be inclined to give the additional strep points to people that do not have overkill.
Right.
I guess I don't have that and I'm at 6. But if we do have a little bit of downtime, then we can recover from banter or.
Well,
I haven't used
it
my like.
sounds like Chaplin, you're restoring 3 health.
yeah, I did, and I don't take stress, so I'm pretty much fine with that. Unless they can't make a decision, I'm happy taking 6 because that's what I
Alright.
should have.
Well, you guys have 5 more to spread amongst yourselves, so.
All right,
Right.
who's highest stress? Who said 7? Is anybody higher than
That's
7?
me. Yeah.
And Matt, that was Matt that said that.
6
Matt's at 6.
Matt's at
Yeah.
6. Sean, you have 7, but you can trigger overkill.
Right.
All right,
Uh,
Justin.
4. Can we bring everyone down to 4 so we're all like even?
I'd like to be
Okay.
at 4. I think that's
So
good.
that would be that would use the rest of the points. That would be 2 for Sean, 1 or 2 for you, Matt, and then 1 for me. Because that would bring
and
my
I'm already
stress to
at
4. What do you guys think about that?
Yeah, works for me. I mean, I'll go up to 5 stress, and we'll give 1 more point to Chaplin, just because he's my homie.
Okay, so Chaplin, you're taking 4 of the 8 for health. And then, Sean, how many are you taking for stress?
I
He was
think
going to take 2, but he redistributed 1.
yeah.
So
now
he's going to
that's
take
1.
1. Matt'll take 2, and I'll
Yeah.
take 1.
Okay.
1, 2, 1.
All right, everybody's happy with that?
Yeah.
Sounds good.
to me.
Yes.
Okay. I think that's fair, I think. All things considered, so enjoy. Perhaps you may live for another moment or 2 here. So
Fingers crossed.
we will dive back in then as we are deep into Act 2 here, and the UPP invasion is still underway. At this point, it's not as intense as when they first launched the attack, but there is still occasionally ships flying through the air, dogfights taking place between UA and, I should say USCMC fighters and UPP fighters. You can still hear the sounds of gunfire and explosions and fighting all, everywhere. Occasionally, comms burst to life with static or people shouting orders or requesting reinforcements or telling you what's going on. And there's smoke everywhere from the many orbital bombardments and the wreckage of vehicles and destroyed buildings and, just all that's going on here. So I'm just going to move some of these tokens here. We definitely don't need all these androids anymore. So you guys, I'm going to put Hammer's token where you were. You guys were about on this highway heading south, east. And then you're going to try to basically get to about here, I think, and then take that road to the front door of Fort Nebraska. So you are still probably about a kilometer or two away. I think about 2 kilometers. So you still have a bit of a distance to go. So what'll it be?
We got to go back and pick up the civilians.
Yes, the civilians.
We left them to go check on Hammer in our blood-fueled rampages.
All right. Well, you start looking around and you don't see them right away. I will need observation checks if you'd like to search for them.
Okay.
All right.
I guess I will give an observation.
Starting off strong with a.
I don't want
panic
to.
test.
I don't want to look.
Okay. Zmijewski freezes and increases everybody's stress by 1. Himself. And then Mason, I need a panic roll from you as well.
What the fuck? We
Yeah,
just
wait.
we just got rid of that.
Oh, double freeze. Everybody's stress goes up by a total of 2.
I can't deal with this. I'm not rolling.
We
So
definitely need to take a break.
you do not find them anywhere. I would say, as a matter of fact, you probably find one of them and they're dead.
God damn it.
So that you don't see the rest, and that shakes the 2 of you up a bit. You're like, oh fuck, maybe they didn't make it, but you can't find them anywhere.
Well, I'm frozen, so nothing happens.
Well, eventually, you guys will
right,
get past that.
recover.
But, yeah. So. Yeah, you're unable to locate them. You're not sure if they didn't make it, if they ran off, if they're hiding and refusing to come out. You don't know.
Chaplin, you got anything on your... Is it the motion tracker? Yeah, that's what it is. It's not thermal. Yeah.
I'm trying to attach it. Or flip it.
You need to left click on the icon. There you go. And then you can click on the power button. Or the number. There you go. Oh, 3 power remaining. 2 of it goes away. Down to 1 power on the motion tracker. So you do get some movement off to the southwest of your position.
Southwest, sir.
There are 2 blips that you get. Maybe
How many people did we have
block or 2.
previously?
You had 4 remaining.
2 of the 4, and I guess we found the other 2, which caused stress.
You've only found 1, so there are 3 MIA right now.
Oh boy. Well, I guess we'll take a look that way if no one has any issues.
I'll follow the motion tracker to approach the blips.
Okay.
Already my rifle.
You do eventually find the other 3. One of them looks like he is very badly injured. Looks like he got a bullet in the gut, and he's sitting on the floor with his back against the wall. They've kind of taken some cover in some ruins. And the other 2, it looks like it's a woman and 2 men. One of the men is the one that's shot. They're trying to stop the bleeding, but you guys can all tell he doesn't look too great. You don't think he's going to make it.
The human will cease bodily function soon. We should make our way forward.
Chaplin, you think there's a way you can fix him?
Negative, sir.
Damn.
Our mission was to report back to Fort Nebraska, was it not? Who cares about them?
Yeah, we explained this last time, Hammer. It's our entire job to protect civilians.
Damn it. I was not expecting that answer. Alright, I don't give a fuck about them. I told you that.
Unfortunately for you,
I understand
this
your
job doesn't
objective.
require you to want to care about them. It is just your job to care about them.
I don't think it is, sir.
Interesting, sir. I cannot care.
You
Therefore, I
weren't given
cannot do this job?
You weren't given a care module, unfortunately.
And I think our objective of actually protecting these civilians is actually much lower priority given the fact that we are under siege, sir.
The protection of civilians goes up when you're under siege by foreign invaders. like
speaking from the gentleman that decided to leave other comrades behind in a vehicle that blew up.
I was in the vehicle.
Mhm.
It blew up with me in them.
Statistically
We were both
speaking,
there.
humans do die when planets are invaded or war breaks out between two human facilities, or with non-human facilities acting in their wake, then it would make sense that human casualties would increase.
You listen to the robot there. It's got a mustache.
I put it on.
I don't think it was on before, but
You can see that the two uninjured civilians, all of you can probably see this as you're debating, like they look equally like mortified and shocked at this discussion. And after a couple minutes of this going on, you can see that the injured one has stopped moving.
great.
He's deceased. Can we move forward now?
There are two remaining.
I'm asking that to the NPCs.
I mean, they're kind of shocked right now. Like the woman's got tears in her eyes, and the guy just looks, completely shell shocked at what's happening. He's kind of just staring at his hands, which are covered in blood, from trying to stop this guy from bleeding.
While I understand humans go through this thing called stress and trauma, that is not something that we can deal with right now. And I'll use cloth or something to wipe his hands since I can see that he's focusing on them.
Okay, I mean that gets them to snap out of it a little bit, but they don't really say much as they just look like they're ready to follow you guys.
Great.
They are ready to follow us, Chris.
Yeah. I
Oh,
mean,
okay,
you can tell, like, they're not going to stand here in the middle of a war zone, but they, they definitely don't look very enthusiastic about joining you guys.
Understandable.
So do you continue on to the fort?
I mean, we can't like take a few minutes and just calm down because we're in an active war zone, right?
You'd have to find someplace secure to, to hide or hang out.
Well,
Like a bomb shelter under Fort Nebraska.
probably
that could do
the
it.
best one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we should just keep making our way to the hopefully safest place.
Yeah, that's definitely
Fingers crossed.
probably it.
Fingers crossed this isn't an aliens game where something bad's gonna happen.
At that, I'll begin walking forward.
All right. Well, the group of you depart, continuing your way down the highway. Eventually, you get past this long highway bridge that you've been kind of traveling through and on, and you get to a junction where the highway begins to curve towards the direction of Fort Nebraska. And as you do, at this point, I would say probably about 2 turns go by, so you can each heal 2 health, humans that is, if you haven't, if you're not at full health already.
Boo!
And as you guys are turning, kind of following this curve, and the bridge becomes just a regular highway, you're no longer, suspended, above the ground. Basically, the highway kind of begins to dip down, almost like you're at the top of a hill, and it starts to make its way, to where the ground, the elevation's lower, and you guys hear a loud explosion. And for the Marines, you all can tell that this is the sound of a tank firing its weapon.
God.
And you guys see that you see a friendly Marine tank. I believe it's called a Ridgeway tank. You see one a couple blocks away from your elevated position, and you can see that it's opening fire on a looks like a transport of the UPP, and it's like trying to hit as it's going, through some of these streets, and you see it, take a shot. You see the turret start to slowly turn as it tries to track as this transport's making its way, zooming through the streets. Would each of you please give me see here. Actually, no, you don't need to make this. The other thing that you notice is you see a couple figures moving about on the rooftops, and it looks like they're moving in the direction of this tank. The tank's kind of sitting at a intersection, you know, where the street is like at a T intersection, and you can see figures. You can't tell if they're friendly or not, moving on the roofs towards the tank.
Can we like radio the tank? Do we have like a standard comm line that all people in our military would have access to?
Yeah, I think you could. Give me a comm tech, please. Whoever wants to try to communicate with them.
Yeah, anyone who's good at that and not high
Right.
stress.
That would be me, right?
Oh,
Okay.
a success is a success.
It counts.
It counts.
So you find the frequency that they're on, the channel they're on, and you could hear the obviously the commander of the tank in kind of hurried voices, telling these guys, okay, adjust, 4 degrees to the left, and you can hear the sounds of the main gun being reloaded.
Someone want to let them know that there's figures or movement above them? I assume since Chaplin was the one who succeeded, he's the one talking.
I guess what I'll say is this is Chaplin 341 Hyperdyne model to the artillery tank going down whatever street we're on. There are how many
There's
figures?
Highway 3. That would
Three?
be Highway 3.
3 figures high and tight coming at your 6.
You hear they respond, Roger that, Chaplin. Can you provide supporting fire? Or covering fire, I guess they'd say. And then you hear him, obviously shouting orders, and you see the tank starting to turn in their direction, but you can tell that the tank is probably not going to turn in time. If these are hostiles going after it, they're probably not going to turn in time to be able to open fire.
I look to Hammer and Zmijewski.
Could not have asked a better person.
I've been cradling my rifle periodically, pretending to aim down the sight this whole time. So when I see Chaplin kind of give me a nod, I kind of perk up and start peeking out from behind some cover to try and get a better sights on these people.
Yeah,
Well,
Chris,
you guys have sight right now, but it is a fair distance to where they're at. You definitely would want to try to cover some ground to get closer, otherwise it's going to be really tough shots.
Yeah, I take a spit on the ground and I just double time it in the direction that we believe we need. What it is, we have to head north. Is that correct?
You guys are basically here at the corner where the highway starts to curve. So
Okay.
that's basically where you guys are at.
Okay, and I'm sorry, where's the tank again?
It's relevant. It's ahead of you a couple blocks, maybe 3-4 blocks.
Okay.
Because keep in mind, you guys are at like the top of a hill, basically, as the highway goes, down the hill. So you have like unobstructed view. You're kind of above most of the rooftops, or like equal to where the rooftops would be if they were right next to you.
Sure, but we're gonna need to double time it down to help cover fire with those bogeys that we witnessed.
Yeah, right now you guys would be at extreme range. I don't even know if any of your weapons have that range on them. So
No, yeah.
that's
So
how far you are.
when I see Hammer start running, I kind of almost instinctively to try and almost race with him, and I'm gonna also just double time it with sprinting that direction.
Okay. Well, why don't we start with some initiative here? So
Fucking roll 1, baby.
let me start to add some baddies here, and everybody else go ahead and roll.
Oh, 9. Damn it.
So that is the Colonial Marines M40E Ridgeway Heavy Tank. These are the big bad boys when it comes to tank firepower for the Marines. You can see it's kind of got this weird sloped front, big ass gun. I also believe it has, I think it's got a machine gun of some sort on it as well. Let's see here. So it's got its
Chris, I'm
main.
not seeing anything.
Oh, did I?
Oh,
Hold on.
It's small.
There we go.
Oh, it's
No,
down
there you
here.
go.
Okay.
Sorry. Do you guys see that now?
Yeah.
Do.
Okay. So it you guys know this normally has a crew of 3. There's a driver, a gunner, and then the commander. And the commander can also operate some of the other weapons, but it's got the main cannon, which is a 115 millimeter turret, and then it's got a 60 millimeter mortar, and then it has a plasma like defense gun, kind of like a machine gun, but it's a plasma gun on it as well. You guys know these things are pretty buff, so that's what you see making its way, or trying to turn, I should say. Let's make this token a little bit bigger. How about that? There we go. Okay. Tank and Marines inside tank. Okay, and let us roll their initiative as well. Okay, the tank is first. It continues to turn towards their direction, but it looks like they're, they don't even really know where they're at. Chaplin gave them some idea, but, they don't necessarily have line of sight to these guys. So it looks like they're just trying to turn and get a beat on these guys. The UPP soldiers get into position this round, and you can see that they all begin to shoulder what looks like RPG launchers. So unfortunately, the UPP soldiers are up first, and they all get into position. So they're going to spend their first action to continue moving, and then they are going to each open fire on the tank. So the first one misses.
Yay.
The second one misses. And the third one hits. We're going to push with one of those guys that missed. Okay. So 2 of the rockets hit. The third one goes spiraling into the street, hits in front of the tank, makes a big crater, blowing up some of the asphalt. However, the other 2 hit. They are base damage 5, and that guy has an extra success, so 6. So let's roll some armor for Mr. Tank here. And pretty sure an RPG is armor piercing. I would imagine. Oh yeah, armor piercing. Okay. So tank. I can't click the armor button for some reason, so we'll do it this way. It has 12 armors. That's going to be down to 6. Okay, and then the second roll. These are hidden rolls for some reason. Okay.
Oof.
So it blocks 1 damage on the first hit, so it takes 4, and then 1 damage on the second hit, so it takes a total of 9 damage. And you can see the tank is smoking and looks severely damaged. It looks like maybe not the turret, but the plasma gun, the defensive gun, probably got annihilated in one of those shots. And then we are on to Chaplin.
Can I make out any of the 3, like, within a reasonable distance of me?
No, they are at extreme range from you guys right now, so they're like 4 zones away.
I'll keep running with the rest of the group then.
Okay. Are you gonna use both your both your actions to run?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. All right. So you move now. You would be within. You're at medium range now, so you can definitely tell they are UPP soldiers. You can see after they shoot, they are looking like they're about to reload their weapons. They do not notice you as you make your way into the area here. Iona, you're next.
All right. I gotta spend at least some time booking it towards folks. So we're gonna do that. What's the gap closer here?
Here's what we'll do. We'll use the squares here on the map. So let me move you guys. So each square will be 1 zone. You guys started at extreme. So that means you're 1, 2, 3, 4 zones away. All right. Short, medium, long, extreme. Yeah. So they are all basically in this zone right here. And then Chaplin moved up to, so she's now at medium range. Yeah. Okay. All right. Iona, what's it going to be?
I guess would one move bring me into...
Every action you spend moving lets you move one zone. So
Okay.
one square. I know the squares are kind of hard to see on this map, but I think you guys get the idea. How about this? We'll go up here.
Oh.
It's a little easier to see. Let's get these androids out of here. These squares are easier to see here, so that is the layout right now, basically. Make sense? From
Yeah.
From left to right? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Chaplin, you're way out there.
Yeah, Chaplin
I'm
just
obviously
starts.
like faster than all of you because I'm superior.
She's T1000 running, through the street.
Okay,
The
so
G.I.
we're
Joe suits.
Okay,
Just
Iona,
a-
what's it gonna be?
at the outside edge of extreme. So like one move would bring us into long range.
Correct.
Okay. The Smartgun can hit that, so I think...
What about the pulse rifle can hit that too, right? Yeah, it can hit long range. Alright.
If you're at long range, you are at -2 to hit.
And what is it with my busted up hand?
Your hand was another -1 on top of that.
All right, just want to make sure.
So,
Alright.
Iona, what's it gonna be? Are you moving up and shooting?
Yeah, I'll just give that a go.
Okay. Go ahead and give me an attack roll. You'll be at -2.
Yeah, right click, base, -2. Nice. Oh,
Really
God.
good roll, but that is a 5 successes, but a panic. Oh boy.
Ah, boy. And that's...
Roll well. Roll well.
Don't fuck up.
You
Fucked up.
Perfect.
Freeze.
fucked up.
All PCs in short range of you. Unfortunately, they are still within short range because they're only one zone away. So you guys see Iona runs up, looks like he's about to aim, and he just, for some reason, cannot bring himself to really follow through with the shot. I mean, I guess you do because you burned through your ammo. So you open fire and you hit some of the building. But yeah, your clip goes empty. And they definitely know you're there now. So, nice job. Zmijewski, the hero that we don't deserve.
But we need.
We definitely need.
Zmijewski must get closer so a rifle can reach the enemies.
Alright. -2 if you're shooting. Oh, Zmijewski, what a badass. The 12 dice? 14 dice, holy shit.
God damn, son.
7 stress dice and not a panic. Alright, all damage?
Or panic.
Yeah, let's
Let's
make.
try that again.
Yeah, I'm gonna hope they're not androids too. So yeah, let's see.
Well,
I gotta.
Even though it's hard to see them from this far away, you can tell they're not wearing the exact same uniforms. So
Great.
They don't look like duplicates like the other guys did. So you're hoping they're not androids. So you got a couple options if you want to do stunts. Pin, change initiative, make them drop an item, or you can make them fall to the ground or push them back.
Yeah, sorry, I'm just looking at the stunts for range combat. Right, so extra damage, pin them down, redraw initiative. Let's see if they're on the roof, right?
They sure are.
I'm gonna see if I can get them to like fall to the ground, and maybe they trip forward off the front of the building. Who knows?
Okay. So hold on here, because I got to give them the right stress levels that they started out with. Because one guy just took stress for pushing. Okay, which are you hitting? One of the ones that hit, or the guy that missed, or do you just not care?
If I can choose them out like that, I'll choose the ones that have already successfully hit, assuming that they're better shots than that other idiot.
Okay, fair enough. All right, so you hit one of them, and you're doing one success as damage, and the other one is a push. The extra successes, I mean.
Well, I mean, I guess I could. Can I try and do a pin down and knock?
Yeah, you can. You can do all. You can do a mix of any of the stunts on this target. So however you want to do them.
Yeah, let's do pin down, force him to fall to the ground or be pushed back, and then throw an extra damage on there.
Okay, so the pin means he has to take a panic test, if I recall. That's what it says. You pin down your
Yes,
enemy, then you need to make an
panic
immediate
roll.
panic test. Okay. He is fine. But then you push him back, so he is not expecting the shots. Let me do the damage here. What's that? Base damage 2. That is armor piercing. He blocks both points of damage with his armor on 3 dice. However, you do push him back, and he, they're towards the edge of the roof, so they have line of sight to the tank. And you see that he is precariously kind of on the edge here. I'm going to have him take a mobility test so he can keep his footing.
Wouldn't he still take 1 damage because I did 1 push for damage?
The push does damage?
I'm sorry, I used one of the stunts for. I said push. Sorry.
Use 1 to push, 1 to panic, and then your first success does 2 base damage.
Gotcha. Okay.
Make sense?
Yep.
Okay. He fails his mobility roll. I think he'd probably try to push that. But he panics. He panics. All right.
Oh,
so he falls off the ledge, but he does manage to grab the edge and not splat to the ground. However, he's hanging from the edge right now, and he has dropped his rocket launcher, and you see it go, behind the building that he's hanging from. So he's out of line of sight. I mean, I guess you guys wouldn't see that he's hanging because he fell on the opposite side of the building from you. But yeah, he's hanging right now. So we'll put, let me do this guy right here on the edge. He's the one that's hanging, and then these 2 are still good. Okay, nice shot, Zmijewski, and now we are on to Mason.
Cool. Can I move forward a zone and then
Yes.
shoot my underbarreled grenade launcher
Yes.
at them?
What's the range on the pulse rifle?
It's long range.
Yes, you can do that.
Okay. Now, if I roll and fuck up, can I then use a story point, or do I have to use a story point and be like, I want it to just hit center and like explode from there as a story point?
You have to do the roll first before you can use a story point.
Oh, okay. Let's do that.
So yes, you may move forward and open fire.
So it's -2, correct?
Yes.
Over here with my boys.
Eight
Let's go.
stress. Okay, 2 successes. You hit.
Yeah.
Add the extra 1 to damage.
Does that apply to all of them?
Yes.
Sure.
Okay, so that'll boost the damage of the grenade up to 10. It'll definitely hit all of them because they're on the same roof. So please roll me 10d6.
So it's /O or 10d6. Is it /R or /roll?
/R space 10d6.
Gotcha.
Survey says not
Nothing.
a single one.
Damn. Is there anything I
wanna-
can use my story point for that?
You could use a story point here to make one of those a success.
Only 1? Ooh.
That'll be 1 damage to each of them, though.
But then they have armor. Don't
They
even
do?
know. Yeah, sure. We'll use a story point and
Okay. So first guy that's standing is a grenade armor piercing.
I will have to check. Let's see.
Oh, hold on, I've got one here in their inventory. It is not.
Nope.
Okay. Okay, first guy takes a point of damage.
Hey, his stress goes up by 1.
Yes, it does. Okay. Second guy also takes a point of damage, and his stress goes up by 1. And the
Damn.
guy who's hanging,
Die, die, die.
he does not
Wow.
take. He takes damage there as well, which means he is going to fall to his death. You hear a scream, "Ah!" And then you hear a. Well, I mean, you might not hear it from here, but there's a loud thud when he crashes into the alley below.
Damn,
And
Chris,
he is
18
dead.
dice and no 6s.
Hey, sucks to suck, bro.
I guess the gods are smiling on us today.
And no one's on the panic dice either, so it's sort of a wash.
All right, Hammer. You
Yeah,
are
I'm
up.
gonna do a blitz forward and do a super slide right next to what's his name?
Chaplin?
Zmijewski.
Okay.
Well, I don't think I can make it to Chaplin.
You can if you use both your actions. You can move. Remember,
You
you can
know
drop.
what?
You can drop your fast action for another slow action, so you can do two runs.
You're damn right. That's fucking what I'm gonna do. There's no way I'm letting that fucking robot outrun me. So
Okay.
we're just gonna move all the way up to.
I think I
Alrighty.
could easily outrun you.
Oh, of course you could, but in my character, there's no way Hammer would allow that to be acceptable.
I'm in character.
If I had an adrenaline shot, I would take that.
That would be horrifying just to see your character like shooting up in the middle of the street.
If he had one, he would.
The tank, because it is damaged, you see the turret starts to spark, and it looks like it's like stuck one of the internal mechanisms, and you can hear it like clicking and clicking as it's trying to turn left, but it's like it's hitting an invisible wall, and it's not able to draw a bead on them. So you see the tank starts to back up and try to turn so they can at least get out of the line of fire. Unfortunately, the UPP soldiers are up next. They reload, and then you see they duck and take cover, and they're out of line of sight right now. So, Chaplin, we're up to you.
Oh, can I shoot somebody now?
You can't see them. They take cover.
Am I like within cover, or am I just too far away from something?
I mean, you can get into cover, but I'm assuming right now you guys are running straight down the street to get there as fast as you can. So right now you're in the open.
Would one movement get me to the dude in front of me?
Each move lets you move one square.
Oh,
still
like
be
the
as
big
one.
square. Okay.
Yep, you got it.
What about, is diagonal still count as just one square?
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to worry about that too much. So we're not on.
What if I wanted to like? No, right. But like, what if I wanted to like kind of? I just want to be like kind of tactical.
Yeah. If you're trying to, I mean, if you do that, you're definitely hugging cover and trying to stay out of line of sight. So get another angle on them.
Yeah, I just want to. I might use my whole movement, I guess, because I want to make my way right here, I guess.
Okay. All right. Well, you duck down an alley, and then you basically pop out another alley. You can see the building from where you're at. You've got pretty good cover, but you're still on the ground level, so you can't see where they are up there. But, I mean, you're pretty sure they're still up there at this point. So, Iona, you are next.
I don't have much to do this turn, having frozen last round. So I've got a fast action, which I'll use to move
All right.
forward towards cover if possible.
Yeah, you get in cover. That's fine. Plenty of rubble.
Kind of like behind hammerish.
Okay.
Something like that.
Zmijewski.
Well, clearly I know they don't have anywhere to go because they're still on the roof, so I'm going to take aim and I'm going to light up that corner with just some controlled Daka Daka.
Okay. Are you hoping that you hit them, or are you just trying to keep their
Daka
heads down?
Daka.
I'm just trying to suppress them and hopefully prevent them from peeking again with some rockets.
I'll tell you what. If you want to make a ranged attack here, if you succeed, I'll increase their stress each by 1 as you force them to keep their heads down.
Okay, boss.
The gun goes click. Roll your stress. Seek cover. Your stress is decreased by 1, but all friendly PCs in short range, which is everybody except Chaplin, their stress goes up by 1.
You son of a bitch.
And you have to use your move to... well, you said you aimed, so... did you take the aim bonus when you did that?
I did not.
Okay, then you may move into cover if you so choose. Well, I guess you have to because you're panicking. All right. And Mason sitting at, looks like, I'd guess 9 stress by the fulfillment of that blue bar.
Yes, sir. So they didn't move; they just dug behind cover, right?
I mean, you can't tell. You don't know
All
if
right.
there's a sunroof in there or a stairwell they've made their way down, but they are out of line of sight.
Okay. Can I just load a second grenade in there, and then
Sure.
dump another one into them?
Yeah.
All right.
It's not a terribly large target, so you figure if you get a grenade up there, it'll hit them if they're still up there. So
2 successes.
Yeah, nice. All right. Well, roll me 10 more dice, please. I assume that everyone's going to
no.
be damaged, right?
No, that is incorrect. This time,
Oh.
I'm gonna swap our initiatives. Fuck those guys.
Oh, look at this creative motherfucker. Okay.
Now you get to go last.
Not last. Hammer's still last.
Ah, it's fair. It's fair.
Okay, so that's going to make you a 2,
Sick.
and UPP soldier would be you had what, an 8, right?
6.
6, that's what you had. Okay. It doesn't matter, because, yeah, it's irrelevant.
All right.
Okay.
They take 2 damage.
Ooh, okay. So first dude blocks 1, takes another point of damage. And second guy, he blocks
Oh.
both, so he's okay. But you can definitely tell that there is some shouting from up there. And Sean, I need you to roll me
Oh no.
6d6, please.
/R. 6d6.
All right. and
1/1.
Okay.
No 6s.
Roll me another 66. I should have had you do this last turn too when you hit the building. Okay. So the damage from the grenade has caused severe damage to this already very damaged building, and you see basically one of the top corners just collapses and a bunch of bricks and stone and metal come just cascading down, and there's a huge plume of smoke when it hits the ground that kind of goes out in all directions from the building. Chaplin, you see this firsthand as smoke just whooshes past you and just fills up the alley that you're in after you see this debris hit the ground. I'm going to make a mobility check for these guys, see if they're able to not fall in or off the building. First soldier is okay. Second soldier, he panics.
Yes.
He holds
Lame.
it together, though. All right, so they don't fall to their doom, but they're definitely dealing with some shit right now. So, Hammer, you're next. You don't see... Well, I guess you probably see them now because of the corner that he blew up. So, you see that one of them is still on the top floor of the roof. He's on the roof. His weapon is reloaded, and he's kind of hunkered down. The other one you see, he falls into the next floor. So now he's like on the top floor of the building. He's actually in a room. It doesn't look like he got hurt from the fall, but he's no longer on the roof. You're
Okay. The guy that's on the roof, are we within medium range?
up. Yes.
All right, I'm going to whip out a grenade. Because I have 2 left, and I am going to attempt to whip it at the guy that's on the roof.
Just blow up the building, then they'll be dead
Yeah.
anyway, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
Makes
so
sense.
dude on the roof. Yep, make a ranged attack at what's the range of a grenade? Is it medium?
Medium.
Okay, so medium range is -1.
-1.
Yep. Okay, panic.
Roll for stress.
Panic.
But I have overkill.
Okay. So that would be 3, but overkill triggers, so you throw. So that'll be. Are you gonna do all damage?
Yes.
Okay, 10 dice, please.
Okay, and that's R/10d6.
/R. Space.
/R.
10d6.
10d6.
2 more. Okay. Roll me 6d6, please.
Yep.
Okay, first guy is fine. Second guy takes another point of damage. And, okay, the building is okay.
Now.
Alright. Well, they take a little bit more damage. They're just slowly getting killed by chip damage from grenades here. And we're back up to the tank. So the tank backs up at this point, and you see that with the way they maneuver, doesn't matter that the turret is stuck or jammed. They just maneuver the whole tank instead so that they're facing in the right direction, and the tank is going to open fire here with its big old cannon. Oh, he panics. Oh, but hold on, I forgot if this weapon actually has any extra damage or extra dice. Let me check. Okay, well, the Marines panic, and the shot, they fire it a little too soon, and it does not hit the building. It goes in between buildings, hits something off in the distance, and there's an explosion a couple blocks away. Leading us to Mason, who wisely went to initiative 2.
Nice.
Good shot, buddy.
So I can move into medium range and just shoot, or I could just sit here, aim and shoot.
Yes.
I guess aim gives me, what is it, +1 dice?
+2.
Okay, so it washes out. But next turn it'll probably matter. All right, I'll move up 1.
Okay.
And can I see the guy in the building, or?
Yes, you can see them both.
Okay.
You're at -1 because you're at medium range.
Okay. Then I will shoot at the guy in the building.
Okay.
So that's going to be a -1. That's where all my stress went. But it won't matter because I'm now at 10 stress.
That is 6 face huggers, ladies and gentlemen. That is the worst that I've ever seen. 6 out of 8. No, 7, 9.
9.
That's incredible. What the
Yeah.
fuck?
All the
And
previous rolls were really good, so this is all making up for it.
6 face huggers and 4
4
successes.
successes.
Only 5 of the dice were not a 1 or 6. That's a weird roll, man. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Those stress still count as successes, right?
No, those are panics.
Those are 6
all-
ones, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I was gonna say.
So you trigger overkill.
Yeah, with catatonic, but instead I just go into a rage, I guess.
Okay, and we determine that means you keep attacking next turn, right? This
What do you
attack
mean?
still gets fucked up though, doesn't it?
What do you mean?
With overkill, I don't remember specifically. Let me reference the rules.
Okay.
Overkill. Hey, I found the right page this time. I didn't have to follow the Choose Your Adventure book. When triggering overkill, you must immediately attack your enemies and won't stop. Also, all other PCs in short range must make an immediate panic roll. Which is everybody except Chaplin. Not that it matters for Chaplin. So, Marines, you see your sergeant just go nuts as he pulls down the trigger. So we'll just count that roll rather than making you make another one. So, what do you want to do for your successes here, Sean?
3 damage in a panic.
Okay. Well, let's roll the damage here first, because that might be enough. So he takes 2 more points of damage. Oh, wait, hold on. It'd be a total of 4 damage, because it's base damage 2 plus 2 more. So 4 damage. He blocks 2. He takes 2 more, so he's still got some health left, but he will take a panic roll here. And he gets nervous twitch, which gives him and the other guy +1 stress. Okay. Piling it up here. Your gun goes click, and you strike him multiple times, and you can see he kind of like falls to one knee, clearly hurt. And Chaplin, you're next. There's still a lot of dust and debris where you're at. I mean, you can see a little bit better because you're synthetic, but it's still a bit obscured right now. Oh, wait, hold on. Everybody else needs to make panic tests because Mason's gone crazy.
Awesome.
Okay, Iona drops his gun. Zmijewski lets out a scream, which means your stress goes down by 1. Everybody else has taken panic tests. Jesus. And then Hammer, we need a panic test for you from the rampage. Or are you already rampaging?
Yeah, I'm already rampaging.
Oh, you don't give a fuck then. Okay. Iona, you have to take 1 more panic test here. Unfortunately.
Sorry.
You're screaming.
Okay.
Ah, 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 ah.
All right. So, well, luckily
So
your stress
screaming.
goes down by 1. Everybody else is in a rampage, and Zmijewski scream. You and him are just screaming as your 2 teammates are just going nuts here. So awesome. Chaplin, what's it gonna be?
I'm gonna throw a grenade too.
Okay. You'll be at -1 because of all the smoke and dust from the explosions and the falling building. Otherwise, give it a whirl. Survey says 2 hits. Is that going into damage?
What's my other option?
You can do any of the stunts on range.
Oh yeah, just
combat.
damage. I'm a straight damage dealer.
All right, roll me 10 dice then. And any 6s will cause more damage to these 2.
Roll a 6.
What am I rolling?
10 d6.
/R. Yes.
2 more.
Something. Yeah.
All right, first guy takes a point, and the second guy takes 2. Okay, so the one that's in the building, the grenade basically lands at his feet, and he totally eats that. You see his body just go flying back into the darkness of the building, and he does not get back up. The other one is grievously wounded. Roll me another 6 dice, please, Jessica. The building is teetering and shaking. Some more debris falls off, but the guy up top is still okay. Not a good day to be him, though. Iona, you're screaming right now. Does that make you lose actions? You lose your next slow action, so you have a fast action here. I think you're muted, Matt.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, so I was saying I also dropped my gun on that round, so
You can pick
I
your
think
gun
I'm gonna
back up if you want.
pick that up and keep in cover, and that's pretty much it.
All right, Zmijewski, you're screaming as well, so you only have a fast action this turn.
Yeah, I'm gonna reload my weapon.
Unfortunately, reload is a slow action.
Oh, is it? Okay. And then if that being the case, I actually don't have much. I'm gonna chill. I'm gonna hold my cover and collect my thoughts.
Okay, so your panic will go away as well. And that leads us to UPP Soldier. Well, he's going to take one final shot before he probably runs away because he's pretty fucked up. And he's going to take a shot where he sees... well, let's see. I guess he'd probably shoot at Mason because he's running down the street screaming and just caused some serious damage. So is that what he would do? I'll tell you what. I'm going to roll a D3 here. So,
Chris, live your life. If he wants to ace me, let him ace me.
well, I mean, there's you running by yourself, there's the other 3 all clumped together, and then there's Chaplin who just threw a grenade and killed his buddy. So I think he equally wants to kill everybody here.
Fair.
So 1 or 2, it's Mason. 3 or 4, it's the group of you. 5 or 6, it is Chaplin. And survey says it is the group.
No.
All right, so he's going to fire at the group of you. He's not going to aim, though, because he's going to run away after this because he doesn't want to die. So opening fire with the grenade launcher, rocket launcher even. Oh, he panics,
Yes.
but he holds it together.
So
He
late.
scores a hit, which is going to do 5 armor-piercing damage. You can all have... Well, Hammer, you're running down the street, too, so you're not going to have
Yeah,
cover. But the other
just-
two, you guys have cover, which is going to give you an extra... Let me see here. I would say an extra 5 armor. So add that, and then half it with the armor-piercing. Zmijewski, okay, you take 3 points of damage. Block 2.
Bleh.
Oh, he's down to 0. Iona and Hammer.
Yep. You want me to wait a minute?
Roll
It's my
your
turn.
armor-piercing armor. Ooh, Iona takes all 5. Do you have any story points you'd like to use? I don't know if that'll matter.
I've got 1 story point, which would do what exactly?
You'd have a success, so you'd take 4 points of damage instead of
That's-
5.
Oh,
That's still dead out of my 4 health, right?
I would like to do that. Story
okay.
points.
Yeah, Iona, if you only have 4 health, that wouldn't work. But Zmijewski, if that'll keep you at 1, definitely worth it. And Hammer, you take 5 damage here. Do you have a story point?
No, I used it in the last one.
Okay, you take
So
5
that-
damage then,
that-
which I think is you're down.
I'm
Okay.
down. So you want me to roll critical, right?
I will need the 2 of you, Iona and Hammer, to please roll criticals.
Here we go.
Don't clump together. This guy's played Halo before. He knows. Oh no, a broken hand.
Oh my god!
Jesus.
You're gonna roll to
same
decide
hand?
which
Is it
hand?
double broke?
Yeah, we got to
No.
decide. Which
At
hand
this
is
point-
broken right now?
Let's see. Let me.
Your left, I think.
I think it's your left.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Okay, so your left hand is broken. So roll me a d6. On an odd number, it is the other hand. On an even number, it's the hand that's already broken. Odd number, your other hand is now broken.
I feel like Deadpool right now.
As the explosion goes off and knocks you to the ground. Iona gets busted kidney. This is a fatal injury. Luckily, you have a time limit of a day to get some medication here.
You could hear me just yell out in the background, "Son of a bitch! I got my other hand! You
And
fuckers!"
you see the UPP soldier disappears as he runs away. And that'll be the end of that combat.
Or will it?
I mean, I'm going like bloodlust mode, so who knows?
Well, what's it going to be? I'll let you guys have a quick minute here to discuss how you want to handle things at this point.
Well, I mean, Zmijewski's probably gonna yell out for medic.
Chaplin, I'm fucking dying, man.
I
Help me
will
out
go
over
to-
here.
I'll go to who's hurt the most.
Iona?
Probably Iona.
And I'll go to Iona. And I'll do a medical aid check.
Come this way, robot. Iona is hurt.
Technically,
Two
robot is an antiquated term that most synthetics do not appreciate.
Zmijewski does not appreciate motionless robot in his squad.
While it is true that I do not have emotions, I find that logic is much better in most situations. 2 successes!
Yeah, he kind of just like dismisses you with a little hand motion and turns to Hammer.
I do a lacking of emotions, same gesture that Zmijewski just did to me, but with no emotion behind it.
Chaplin, did you add +2 from your talent of field surgeon to that roll?
No, I just did the base roll.
I'll roll 2 more dice then, because field surgeon gives you +2 when treating someone who's about to die from a critical injury.
D6.
Yep, 2 more. That's 1d6. We need 1 more. So, As we learned last week, the first success is to cure your critical injury. So, despite what's going on here, Iona, she's able to patch up the injury, and you are not in danger of dying anymore. And then you can give medical aid rolls to the people that have 0 health in order to try to get them back up. And let me check.
So I'll go over to can I use this? I'm really just horrible at pronunciation. So I'll go over to Z-Man and
He's not at 0. He's
Okay,
still
then
standing.
who is?
Iona and Hammer.
Yeah.
Okay, then I'll go. Do I need to do that to Iona again, or?
Yeah, because the first one is to fix the critical injury. The second one is to heal his health.
Okay. Then am I allowed to use field surgeon multiple times or just the one?
It's only when you're treating the critical, so now
Oh,
you don't
okay.
use field surgeon. If anybody has a med kit, though, you can use the med kit to get an extra 2 here.
Iona, I do not help you.
I don't know if anybody has any med kits left.
Hammer,
No, I think
2
we checked last
successes.
time too.
Okay. And let's see here. Your broken hand was not fatal, was it? I
No.
don't think it's fatal. Okay, so you're fine then.
Well, I mean, is my hand still broken?
Oh yeah, it's broken.
So 2 broken hands.
It's for D6.
Probably fatal in a war
It's
zone,
for-
but
It's for
I
D6
rolled
days.
0. I rolled 0 for Iona and 2 for Hammer.
Okay. So Hammer, you get 2 health back. Iona's still at 0. And your hand, I mean, even if it's just for 1 day, you're kind of fucked right now, Hammer. So
Is that the bottom line of healing time? 7 days, 2d6 to
yeah.
not be able to run, can only crawl for busted kidney.
I believe so. That's what I'm checking. Let's see.
Oh, jeebus.
it's aliens.
Yep. Yeah, so basically it's fatal and the time is 1 day. So after a day passed, if you didn't get the medical attention that Chaplin just gave you, you die from your injury. So she's put your kidney back in your body where it belongs. But while
Thanks,
once you're under the effects of this, which in this case is lasting for 7 days, you can't run, you can only crawl, and your mobility is -2. So Hammer can still walk, luckily, but he does not have the use of his hands, which is pretty bad for a soldier.
Alright, Hammer, just hike me up on your shoulders. I can do the gun part, you do the legs part.
We'll have one functional human being at the end of this.
With
You
our
want a tall
powers
ass trench
combined.
coat too?
Oh
Sneak
man, that's
into a
fucked
movie
up.
next.
It's true, yeah.
It's the Mecha Shiva strategy.
Watching
At
a lot
this-
of Gurren Lagann just.
At this point,
Yeah,
the tank has kind of driven up the hill a little bit towards you guys, and you see the hatch on the turret pops open, and you see one of the Marines inside, and the tank is struggling right now. It is smoking pretty badly. You guys can hear there's a lot of mechanical crunching noises coming from it as it moves. It's still operational, but it looks like if you threw a rock at this thing, it's about to explode. It's pretty fucked up. But one of the Marines comes out, and he thanks you guys for your assistance.
Welcome. I don't know what his rank is.
Of course.
Guy. Comrade.
Yeah, let me see if this guy has a rank. But what they would say when they see your 2 injured guys, especially when they see Iona, they would offer a med kit if you want to try to patch him up anymore. So he's not at 0. So if somebody else wants to try a test, they can, or you can hold on to it for later.
Probably just hold on for it since I'm at like 11 stress.
Yeah,
That would be
let's get
hilarious.
going.
Let me see if I can heal him.
He just wakes up, has a heart attack.
It looks
Jeez.
like there is there's a private first class, a corporal, and a lance corporal is the commander of this tank.
Happy to help,
So,
Lance Corporal.
Yeah, so you outrank them, but he thanks you, and he's like, man, one more hit would have done us in. Appreciate the cover there.
Just
Wish
yeah.
I could say the same.
Yeah, he looks at your squad and how banged up they are, and then he looks at the tank, and he's like, oh man, he's like, I don't think Bertha here is gonna last much longer.
Well, we're on our way back to Fort Nebraska.
I touch the machine and say, Bertha, I am Chaplin.
It does not respond.
Invoke the machine spirit.
Right, it doesn't have one.
Speak to the Omnisha.
What a shit universe. No machine spirits.
Yeah, where's the Omnisaya when you need him? But he says, well, I guess that's a good as place as any. I mean, it's not much, but we can at least give you guys a lift. Beat walking.
Yeah, we've also got some civilians we have been escorting to safety.
Yeah, they look terrified when they
Understand.
see all of this.
I mean, they should be in awe. 3 of these people just took an RPG blast to the chest, okay? Not dead.
No, just dying.
Shh. Irrelevant.
Wait, did those guys have guns?
What, the Marines?
The folks following us.
Well, I think you guys had one gun that you got from somewhere, and that guy got killed.
I was gonna say, if the dead dudes just scavenge some stuff and spread it among people, especially because we made a bunch of panic gunfire.
Yeah, I don't know if I want civilians panicking and shooting me in the back.
I mean,
so the guy that was inside, his gear is all gone because he got blown up by like 5 grenades. The other guy escaped, and the third guy, when you go find his splatted body on the pavement in the alley, the rocket launcher is damaged, but it looks like his AK-47 did not get damaged in the fall. He probably has a grenade and, like a reload or 2 for his weapon as well.
Onward to Fort Nebraska?
Think so.
Yeah, so there's not enough room in the tank for everybody. I mean, even though it's a big vehicle, I mean, inside it's cramped. You could probably fit another person or 2 in there, but, there's not really seats to sit. It's just designed to be operated by 3 people. But there's plenty of room on the outside for you guys to at least ride, so you don't have to walk. Obviously, that's helpful for Iona in particular.
Yeah, just, I guess, put the civilians inside and we all just sit outside.
Yeah, you can do that.
Like the Halo 2 Scorpion tank with all the
Exactly.
Marines riding around on it.
It's basically what's going on. Yeah,
oh,
exactly.
you mean a death trap?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, well, 1 missile kills everybody. So you guys make your way towards Fort Nebraska, and as you guys pile up on the tank, all of a sudden, all of you feel this kind of strange sensation kind of move through the atmosphere, and for all of you, aside from Chaplin, you feel like the hairs on the back of your neck feels like they just stand straight up, and you feel this kind of staticky discharge in the air, and all of a sudden there is this massive EMP blast that just hits the colony like a ton of bricks. Basically any electronics that you guys have on you, like watches or your radios, they burst, they burn out. You can see larger electronics, like in some of these buildings and near the fort. You see massive, basically blue bolts of like lightning, like electrical lightning, just kind of shock through anything nearby, and it's like all of a sudden everything is dead quiet. Chaplin, when this happens, you feel this jolt of electricity go through your system, and you actually take an attack here for all purposes here. So I'm going to roll an attack against you. You take 1 point of damage as you feel some of your circuits fry and this lightning kind of dance over your body. And everything stops. All the sound around you guys stops. All the sounds of gunfire and shooting just abruptly ends. And then a couple moments later, you see shapes in the clouds, and you see ships from both the UA and the UPP just spiraling out of the sky, nosediving to the ground. And it is soon raining drop ships all across the colony as these ships lose power and just crash into the ground. I need everybody to make a mobility test here, as there is a shadow looming over you all.
Oh boy.
Mason,
Great
4
agility.
panic. Love it. Yep.
Oh,
Iona, did you do your -2?
I did. That's why I have 2
Oh
dice.
my god! How did he do it? No way!
God
Hammer,
damn, bro.
too. Okay. This dropship basically lands in front of the tank, and its momentum takes it barreling into the front of the tank. And when it collides, there are screams and shouts and a massive explosion as debris and metal goes flying everywhere. Those of you that passed are fine. Mason, I need a panic roll from you. Everybody's good except for Mason right now.
Catatonic.
Okay. Well, you're not in a fight right now, so you can't
Right,
go into
can't go overkill.
So you just like freeze as this thing comes crashing out of the sky, and you're like, this is where it ends. You're caught in the explosion, and you are going to take a hit here. A blast 9 hit. You take 2 points of damage from the
Do I
explosion.
roll armor?
Yes, you do.
Armor piercing or anything?
Considering the source of the explosion, I would say yes, armor piercing.
Okay, yeah.
An airplane just fell out of the sky.
0 successes.
All right, you take 2 points of damage as you are thrown basically across the street, and a small mushroom cloud basically envelops the tank, killing everyone inside and annihilating the tank in the process.
Well, that fucking sucks.
All of you just, even somehow, Iona, you like just roll off the side of the tank and just kind of roll yourself behind some cover. You can feel the heat of the explosion wash over you, singeing some of your clothes, but you manage to find just the perfect spot to hide. Everybody else hops off the tank and throws themselves into cover or under debris, wherever they can to avoid this. But a massive explosion erupts, and all is quiet, and that is the end of Act 2.
God damn, way to go, boys.
Wow. So,
I do a search for any stims.
Do any of these
First-
corpses have
man.
stims? Need my hit.
First things first, we're going to, I guess now's a good time to take a break, because we're at our halfway point here. So let's do that, and then we'll come back and talk about agendas as soon as I find them. Actually, let's go over agendas right now, and then I'll give you guys new ones in a moment here. As soon as I find them. Is it items? There we go. Okay. All right. Act 2, Chaplin. Yes, you get a story point. You get a story point. Hammer,
Everyone gets a story point.
you definitely get yours.
Thanks,
Oh,
Oprah.
Iona. Yeah, I think you got that. I know you weren't here last week to play some of that, but I think I'd say yes based on what happened tonight. Mason, yes, I'd say you're passing that with flying colors somehow right now. And Zmijewski, yes. All of you gain story points for Act 2. Well done. Okay, let's take... And when we get back, we will get Act 3 agendas and get things underway here. Okay, so, Matt, I'll explain all that in a moment here. In the meantime, this is where you guys are at. So you've made your way through the base. So, this EMP strike hits the colony. All the electronics appear to be fried, including anything that you guys are carrying that's electronic. You'd have to go through each of your gear to let me know what you have. But one thing I can tell you for sure is anybody who has a pulse rifle, the ammo counter on the side is not working. And same thing for the, I don't know if the smart gun has an ammo reader on it. I don't recall if it does or not, but the Marine pulse rifle does, and those are fried. It'll take a ComTech roll to try to repair anything that's been damaged by this. Also, if you have any, comm units, radios, anything like that, the motion tracker that you had, Chaplin, all those things are totally fried.
Chris, I have a CBRN detection kit. A Geiger counter's in there, so I assume that's shot.
Yeah, that kit needs to be repaired as well. That's fucked up.
Okay, so does the whole kit or just individual items or?
What else is in there? Does it say?
Yeah, there's neurotoxin inhibitors. I don't know. Emergency respirators, gloves, goggles, syringes, sampling tools, paper, and jars. So I think like the first 2 or 3.
I would say one ComTech will fix everything in the kit that's electronic. We won't worry about individual things. It's all or nothing because they're small enough items.
Gotcha.
So, based on what you said, I'd probably say the Geiger counter and maybe the respirators are fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
So, depending what kind of respirator they are, they might have some sort of electronic component. So, but
yeah, it says they have to be
test.
recharged at some point, so I think they're electronic. Yeah.
Okay. Well, one thing will do it. But anyway, so after this EMP blast and after aircraft finishes falling out of the sky, and you see this happening all across the horizon of the colony, you see that any like sign of life or movement from the fort seems to stop as well. Eventually, a couple moments go by as you guys are all kind of standing here wondering what in the world just happened, and you all look up, and in the clouds, again, it's still very snowy here, it's cold, the sky is overcast and filled with gray clouds that, just don't really let in any hint of real sunlight. Up in the clouds, all of you can see a mammoth shadow of some sort of ship, you're guessing, but you can't quite make it out because it's a ways away. To you guys, it's to the south. You're guessing maybe over the spaceport or South District. It's hard to tell from where you're at, but it is definitely a couple kilometers away. And all of a sudden, there is a succession of airbursts exploding overhead. And you can see around where this ship is, the skies turn pitch black, and it looks like almost like a rain begins to fall on the colony. All throughout, as far as the eye can see, panicked colonists, Marines, and even enemy troops are scattering for cover and trying to get to a safe place. But it is too late. This churning black tar erupts from retching throats and eyes. You can see somewhat in the distance, a convulsing man tearing at his face as the woman next to him shrieks up at the clouds. The dying climbing over one another, twisting in agony. Bodies bubble and ossify into these strange, grotesque, black caricatures of life. Their forsaken souls forever crying out to their absent gods. Those further from the airburst, this is you guys, fall to your knees. Basically, there's this almost like a backdraft that knocks you back for a moment. Some people have black veins spiderwebbing across splintering flesh, and they crumble to dust. Others writhe in the blackened snow, their skulls pulsing and limbs stretching. You all are in hell. Everybody gains +1 stress as you see what looks like this ship in the clouds conducting some sort of bombing run on the colony, and it seems to be centered most likely around the spaceport.
We are in hell, and we have all gained 1 stress.
Yes.
So I'm at 11 stress now.
I am at 8. Okay.
Matt, you can give 1 stress to your new character as well, because you do see this from where you're at. And I have a picture here to show you guys, assuming I can find it, that I think will really give you an idea of some of the crazy shit that you're seeing in the distance. So, although you're not quite close enough to see it in this detail, this picture kind of explains what's happening throughout the colony. A strange black substance has been dropped and is coming down like sheets of weird, gooey rain, and people are panicking and scrambling in every direction as they begin to mutate and change into strange, bizarre creatures. You guys are on the outside of this, so you can see it in the distance, but you can see the sky literally turn black and the air just fill with these black globulates that come pouring down.
Damn.
A few minutes later, as you're all kind of standing in shock and watching this, you can feel the aftershock of this bombing wash over you. And I will need everybody here.
This is, oh boy. I see the bar. Should we go to the bar, guys?
Let's just get a drink, go to the Winchester, wait for this to all blow over.
What would you like us to roll, Chris?
I have to check here how I do this. I always forget.
Roll stress 3 times.
Give me a second here to
Mitsupuku.
make sure I'm doing this right.
Hey, in the critical roll, does any of them say shit your pants?
No.
Oh,
Can we make one say that?
No.
I guess this is a no fun zone. Okay.
Exactly.
that would be great. Or maybe like a stress roll. That would be under the stress. Shit your pants. You know, you see an alien and then you roll stress, and instead of freeze, you shit your pants.
Well, I mean, probably not too far from the actual truth.
Okay. I need everybody aside from Chaplin to make a stamina roll.
Oh.
Any negatives?
Nope. You don't roll stress on this, though. You ignore stress. This is just your body reacting.
Okay.
So you can ignore stress on this.
So then 4 successes.
1 success.
Or if we're ignoring, do we ignore the yellow dice completely?
Yes.
Or just the okay, so then just 1 success.
Ooh. I have no successes.
Okay, I'm sorry. So, Sean, how many did you have?
Let me double check because it was kind of up there. 1 success.
Okay, Iona?
1 regular dice.
Yeah, we've got 3 successes, but panic.
No, you ignore stress on this roll.
Great.
So,
2,
2 successes?
10,
Okay.
yes.
Zmijewski, how many did you get?
Niet.
Okay, and Hammer, how many did you get?
I got 0.
Okay, does anybody want to push their rolls?
Can we?
Yes.
I would like to push.
All right, so
Same.
give yourself an extra stress, but just roll your stamina one more time.
I got 2 successes.
Okay. Matt and Sean, are you guys keeping? You guys each had. You had 2, and then Sean, you had 1. You guys happy with that?
2 seems fine. I think.
Okay. Mason?
Sorry, I was on mute. There's not a button to push, so I just roll it again.
Yeah, give yourself a stress.
But add 1 more stress. Stamina. All right, so that's 3.
Okay.
God damn, so many stress dice.
So as this aftershock of the bombing kind of washes over you guys and makes you stagger, I mean, the winds are that strong. You all can feel like you can kind of like taste or smell something in the air very faintly. Or perhaps like you feel like something's in your eyes. But it doesn't seem like anything really bad happens to any of you. Chaplin, you can tell that there's some sort of particles in the air that clearly are washing over your squad here, but they don't seem to really show any ill effects when this happens. What would you all like to do at this point?
I would like to ask Chaplin to repair my CBRN detection kit so we can have respirators and not be breathing in whatever ash or smoke or I don't even know what to call it, goop into our lungs, if possible.
Okay, 2 successes. So Chaplin gets your kit working, and it seems to be fine.
All right, cool. I guess I'll hand out 1 respirator to each person.
Okay.
Except for Chaplin, since I only have 4 and he's a synth.
Okay.
This game is classist.
Yeah.
So does it say how much air they have, the respirators?
It says good for 1 turn each before they need to be recharged. It's just 4 emergency respirators.
So it's for 15 minutes these will last.
Oh, cool. Ugh. Then I don't even know if that's super helpful at this point. Like, because to be recharged, they have to be connected to some kind of power source, right?
Yep. Correct.
Coolio. Then not gonna give them out just yet.
All right.
I guess just wrap a cloth around our mouth and hope it works.
Well, okay, well, Chaplin gets your stuff together. What is everybody else doing as you're watching Chaplin repair this and you see absolute hell descend on the colony?
I want somebody to wrap my fucking hands into just mallets. No, I try to, I tell, Zmijewski to whip out a stim pack and shove it into my leg.
Do you have any on you?
Yeah, I have 1 left.
All right. Is it like visible on your person?
Yes, it's in my right pocket.
All right. So I'm gonna be like muttering. Just, do you know Polish? Does your character know Polish?
I don't know fucking Polish.
Excellent. My character's gonna mutter in Polish just a bunch of like obscenities and how you're worthless and everything, and how you're an addict. And I'm gonna stab you in the thigh with this thing and just let you do it. Do your thing, you addict.
I think this is classified as enabling him.
He's my rival, so mission fucking completed.
There you go. Get him to OD. Damn. All right.
Yeah, my buddy's dead. Okay, well, that felt pretty damn good. I get to reduce my stress by 1, by the way.
Oh,
Nice.
well, that's nice. Now it's only like 10 instead of, 15.
Yeah.
Sweet.
All right. I'm just gonna take a moment, just take a knee while I enjoy this stim.
Okay, what's everybody else doing?
So have we been hit by like an escape pod, drop pod thing? Or the tank, rather?
It looks like it, when you guys now take a look, it is a Marine dropship, the Cheyenne, fell out of the sky and basically crashed into the tank. The tank is completely annihilated, and everyone inside is dead.
And it's a ship, so it's
the-
not like
the dropship.
something.
The dropship looks fairly intact. I mean, you can see the windshield probably has a crack on it, but the dropship itself, especially the back half, like the cockpit rammed into the tank, so that's pretty fucked up. But it's kind of covered in rubble. But the rest of it looks fairly intact.
Oh, maybe we could hunker down there for, 15, 20 minutes and try to reduce our stress.
Do you check it out?
Yeah, I mean, while
Yeah.
Chaplin's busy, I guess I'll drag Iona over there on my back.
Okay.
If Iona wants to go.
Now we got nowhere else to be.
Great.
All right. Well, you get to the back of this this dropship, and you're able to get the back ramp open. And when you get inside, you can see that, I mean, everything's in disarray. There's stuff thrown all over the place, but most of the back interior is still intact. When you get towards the front, like, most of the cockpit is just completely covered and wrapped by the wreckage of the tank and the rubble that it hit. So it's like once you get to the door that leads to the cockpit, it's just like solid debris. You can't even see the cockpit. It's just like covered, so you can't actually access it. It's like just hitting a wall, like a barricade. You don't see any bodies back here, so you're assuming that there were no Marines on board, except probably the pilot and probably the gunner or the crew chief. So it looks like it was probably acting more as an attack ship rather than a transport at this time. I guess you would probably notice that because the wings are folded out. The dropship's wings basically fold over itself on its back, and when they unfold, that's where most of its weapon systems are, other than the nose-mounted gun or the chin-mounted gun. So, yeah, I guess when it crashes, the wings are open at this point. But yeah, you get inside. I mean, there's, the seats and the harnesses still seem relatively intact, and I mean, you guys know that these are generally like a sealed, these things are made to go into space and orbit from ship to planet, so fairly sealed compartment as well.
Okay, great. So it seems pretty good, so I'll try to flag everyone else down. Let them know we can crash here for a little bit while we get our bearings, and
Okay.
I don't know, wait for the falling black goop to stop falling. Or you said there was a mushroom cloud at one point?
That was from the dropship hitting the
okay.
tank. A small
I'll
mushroom cloud.
whip out my Geiger counter and see if we're about to be irradiated.
No, it's just flavor text mushroom cloud.
Sure. Okay.
Let's get some other music going here.
Oh wow, that music was intense.
Yeah, it was loud. I don't know why that.
Oh, I can't even hear music now.
That one track was like all the way cranked. Okay. I'm just going through my music here. Carry on. How long would you guys like to rest at this point?
Well, 15 minutes you said is when I regain a health point.
Yes, and reduce the stress.
Oh, dude, I need like a good 45 minutes.
Actually, yeah. After getting hit by a dropship, I am not doing the best.
I'd say 3 rests.
Maybe like an hour.
We want to,
give or take?
yeah, round it up to an hour and a half.
Okay.
Meanwhile, can I try and search? I mean, are there any bodies around?
You'd probably find the remains of any of the bodies that were in the tank. But other than that, I mean, there's nothing in here in the actual dropship.
Okay, the remains of the body in the tank. Is there like anything salvageable?
No, it completely annihilated. Well, The group of you finally have a chance to catch your breath, and you all realize how exhausted and just how miserable and sore and injured you all are. Does anyone have banter, and if so, do they use it?
Iona has banter. Yeah, I could give it a shot.
Okay, what do you say?
Like I've already queued up a chuckle for man. Well, I suppose I would say clutching the side of my side
Mm-hmm.
in the bottom lower right, I suppose. Like, it's too bad I'm not a heavy drinker and my kidneys aren't twice as large as they would normally be. And then look over to Chaplin and say, does that check out? Does that make any sense? You're the medical guy, right?
Like that.
Just
You're
give
better.
my joke a thumbs up or a thumbs down. And then I wink. And then put my finger above my upper lip and pretend it's a mustache.
You know, since I can't use my fingers, I just point my hands up. Or my arms up.
I look around like absent-mindedly and nod while I look around at this guy absent-mindedly, not making eye contact with anybody, and I put my mustache on again, nodding the whole time, but looking lost in thought.
Okay. Well, it's a tense rest, as you guys aren't really sure what to expect and what's going on outside. It is a stark, even in here you can still like kind of tell it's just such a stark change from all the noise and you know stuff that was going on to it just being like a ghost town. It sounds like you can hear strange noises in the distance, perhaps screams or shouts, guttural noises, but you can't quite make out anything. And the sky seems to have taken on a darker tint, and things just seem much more gloomy than they were before this bombing run hit. You do have time to rest as the minutes slowly creep into an hour or so. So I'd say at this point you guys can probably with the banter it's probably going to be all your stress. Because banter is one per turn, right, Matt?
An extra one, yeah, up to 2
Okay.
per turn.
Yeah. So, yeah, that'll be at least 10 stress, if not more. Let's see.
But Chris, I have 12.
You have 12? Well, let's see. Yeah, with banter, you probably get rid of all your stress at this point. I would say everyone, yeah, we'll reduce down to 0. That's fine.
So good.
And obviously you'll heal as well if anybody's injured at this point, so your health comes back. And as you're sitting here deciding what to do and you know where to go and how to handle things, you all hear a rumbling, and it sounds like a vehicle in the distance, and it sounds like it's getting closer.
Can I roll for observation?
You guys are in
Do
a...
we see this?
You can't, because remember, the cockpit is completely covered by the debris, so you guys are just in... You're basically in a box right now. There's no windows in the dropship.
All right.
Someone want to go out and check it out, or do we want to stay here and hope
I'll
it's...
give it a shot. Let me
What-
head out there.
What I can tell you is it's coming from the direction that you guys had been traveling in. So it's coming down the hill towards where the tank is. Basically heading in the same direction that you guys were.
Ah,
Yeah, I'm gonna head out of the dropship and take a look.
Okay. When you peek around the side, you see a Marine APC trudging its way down the hill towards you guys.
Yeah, I'm gonna flag him down.
All right.
And I'm gonna radio. Well, I'm gonna try and yell back to everybody. It's another Marine APC. We might be able to hitch a ride back to the fort.
All right, guys. Like, sounds good to me.
Well, you all see this APC that looks a little worse for wear, and it pulls up to you guys and pulls off to the side of the street. And you try your radios, but everything's totally fried. And the door opens up, and you see inside the obviously battle-worn and wounded faces of Captain Silva, Dante,
Oh.
and Miss Eckford, the Weyland-Yutani commando. Looks like Eckford is
Nice.
driving. Dante is in the back in one of the seats, and Silva is the one that opens the door for you guys.
I'm gonna fucking stare at Sergeant Mason right now. And I'm like looking murderous at him that he left them behind. Dead, huh? You
In an
said they
APC
were
that
dead.
exploded. I believe I said they weren't there when I got up.
You said they were dead.
Out of character. I don't actually know what was said because that happened when I wasn't here. So
You saw them and they looked dead to you, and I mean there was a fucking orbital bombardment going on, so you pulled yourself from the wreckage and you assumed that they were toast. So
Rip.
you're guessing, now that you see her standing there in front of you, they're probably knocked out or unconscious, but clearly they didn't die in the attack.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
and
there's a reason I'm not the medic.
Captain Silva, they're banged up. She's got like a bandage wrapped around her head, and you see that Dante looks like she's in a lot of pain and clearly messed up. And you don't see any of the other Weyland-Yutani commandos. You just see Eckford in the front, and she's her uniform is just completely covered in like soot and dirt and grime. She's clearly been through the ringer a bit as well. I don't think she has any real injuries, but clearly she's been out here as well. And at that point, you guys would notice that. Actually, no, these are Marine APCs, so there wouldn't be any insignia on there other than your own. But yeah, Captain Silva opens the door and she says, "Looks like you guys could use a ride."
You would not believe the day we've had.
Oh, thank God.
She looks you all over. You all look like hell. Get your asses in here.
Yeah.
Will somebody
Drag Iona
fix
in
my
there.
hands?
Yeah, you think we look like hell? Look down the road.
Oh.
Yeah, you can tell they all have worried looks on their faces. So, at this point, Matt, you may take control of Dante. As you've seen by your agendas, you have had some serious pain ever since you left Fort Nebraska. At first, it was the pain in your back, which you were assuming was from the surgery that you had, and the new implant that you have for your spine. And then, you've also felt like this kind of burning sensation in your chest, and it's been, coughing and just sometimes really hard to breathe. And then, basically, as you guys recovered, so what happened, eventually this will be revealed to you guys as you're driving back, is that Eckford was in her APC with her squad, and they, when the invasion started, the UPP invasion, her squad took some casualties. Eventually she tried to get to the compound where you guys were to try to take cover, and she found Dante and Silva were still alive, and so they took cover, and then eventually they hopped in her APC, which was still functional, but at this time though, she had lost some of her troops, and they've been trying to make their way back, and unfortunately her troops have all been killed off at this point, her other commandos. Yeah, so there you are. Also, Dante, during your drive back, when you guys were exploring an area where you saw some signs of fighting, there was a splash of blood that you saw on the ground, and then Silva pointed out that your nose was just randomly bleeding, and the pain in your body has just gotten worse since then. And as things have gone on here, the pain in your chest has gotten worse, and you feel that something is seriously wrong, and you're desperate to get back to the base and get to a proper medical bay to see what the hell's going on. But Silva would explain at least how they survived, and their trip here has not been easy either. They've had to deal with some fighting as well.
Chris.
Yes.
So Dante was fixed at the base, right?
Yes, Dante. Dante was on like a medical type leave from an injury she had suffered from something before. She had mentioned there was a training program, and her squad was killed by friendly fire, and she was grievously injured. And
I remember that.
You guys know that she had some sort of oh yeah, because Dante gave Sean
Mason the papers.
her discharge papers. So yeah, you read like she had basically like this crazy spinal surgery with like a weird basically a mechanical implant, what was it called, a artificial spinal synaptic relay.
Right, but she was repaired at the base.
Yes.
And we know from the woman that I domed before that, at the beginning of Act 2, that they were doing experiments at Fort Nebraska.
That's what she claimed. Yep.
All right, well, Matt, out of character, it sounds like we're going to be killing you.
No, we got to keep everyone alive. Well, technically, Iona is your main character. We'll keep Iona alive.
We're trying.
We're doing our best.
A lot of balls in the air, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, Dante and Silva would have heard the conversation with Wright before she was killed, so you would have heard that about there being experiments at the base. But yes, you guys begin to make your way back towards Fort Nebraska, and it is a quiet drive as you make your way through just more of this damaged, destroyed, and bombed out colony. Is there anything particular that anybody wants to speak of or ask as you're making your way back?
How the fuck did you guys make it out?
Silva goes, I guess just good old American steel, and she knocks on the side of the APC. Out cold after that blast, but we came to. Eventually we crossed paths with Eckford here, and figured three bodies was better than two.
What are you seeing back there? I mean, is there any other survivors, or is the whole town dead?
I mean, we came across a couple firefights, but I fear we just need to get back to the base at this point. I mean, sure, we've got the APC, and then Eckford kind of cuts her off a little bit, and she's like, look, this planet is overrun, first by the UPP, and now by whatever the hell just bombed us. She's like, we need to get back to Fort Nebraska, get on the orbital elevator, and get the fuck out of here. She's like, we can't save everybody. We need to get out of here and at least save ourselves. People need to know what the hell happened here, and that's not going to happen if we die in the process trying to rescue every person that needs a lift. And you see Silva kind of like shrugs, like, well, there you have it. You get the feeling she's kind of like, well, she's been driving the APC, and she really wasn't willing to stop for most people, so they've kind of been, booking it here as much as they can.
But how about you, old ham bone, and I do some eyebrow wiggles of Dante. How did you get out of the base? I think we woke up and walked around the perimeter. It didn't make any sense if you didn't come past us.
Oh,
Get out.
the other thing, Dante and Silva, you guys would know is that the UPP, they went for the compound shortly after they started the attack, and they were you realize that dropship that had the androids basically had followed them from the compound until they caught up to them. It was a little while later. You guys had already left the compound as well, and you could hear through some of their radio transmissions that they started tracking the other half of your squad that had escaped first. It sounds like they were looking for the Marines as well, the AWOLs.
Gotcha.
Which, I mean, you guys kind of knew that because they were expecting to do an exchange at the oil refinery. So you're guessing that squad of androids was the squad that was supposed to get whatever AWOLs the insurgents were going to hand over. And when they realized you guys had been there, they probably thought that maybe you guys had grabbed some of them, or at least had information where they might be.
No, I blew the last known lead's head off.
Shooting guys, classic. Like to hear it.
Cause fuck them. Wait, it's Dante. I'm sorry. Who was in the NPC? It was Dante.
Silva
was
and Eckford.
Okay, and Silva, Captain Silva is the one that was yelling at me over the mic, right?
Yes.
All right, so she clearly knows that I domed her.
Seems pretty likely.
Oh, she was yelling at me.
Right.
Yeah. I'm just grinning at Captain Silva though. As I say it. I domed her.
I'm glaring suspiciously at Eckford.
Eckford seems concentrating and focused on driving. You can tell that she's obviously listening to you guys intently, but she's not saying anything. Are you in the passenger seat, Chaplin, or are you in the back with everybody else?
Back with everybody else.
Okay. Yeah, she doesn't say anything as you guys are driving, and Silva doesn't really seem to acknowledge your taunts, Hammer. It looks like she doesn't really care about that at this point. So, as you guys are making your way through here, you guys get to like this area where there's like a fairly open plaza off to one side of the road, and you guys can feel the APC slows down, and you just hear Eckford go, "Holy shit." And you guys look out like the front viewport, or maybe like one of the screens. Maybe there's like a camera that you guys can see outside. And basically what you guys see is it looks to you like a forest of bare trees, but then you realize that they are all people that have been frozen, kind of like the city of Pompeii style, in like various like, oh, what's the word I'm looking for? Like they were frozen while they were fleeing or screaming or obviously in great emotional distress, twisted in agony, reaching to the sky, and all of them are like black. You could tell whatever was dropped from the ship is probably covering them. They look almost ossified in a way. And it's deathly quiet. And as, you know, the APC comes to a stop, you see there is a child walking through this, like, field of frozen bodies. And they still look human, and they're clearly looking around. You can hear them calling out for someone. Everybody gains a point of stress when they see this, because it is unlike anything you've ever seen. What do you do?
They're clearly human.
Yeah. I mean, he's a distance away. He's not like right next to you guys, but you guys can hear him.
And he's screaming out in pain.
Well, it sounds like he's calling out for someone. You can see he's like kind of dragging behind him like some toy, like a teddy bear or something, that's just black, covered in whatever the fuck was dropped on the colony.
Pretty creepy.
And he notices the APC, and he starts to like call out to you guys, and he starts to make his way towards you, but he's, probably about a zone or two away.
Aren't one of you guys one of those chemical contamination folks? Does something you got a procedure for?
Well, I have a kit, but I mean, Chris would he's previously got like chemical, biological, radiological, and nuclear incident response force. Is there like a standard procedure like at this point?
I mean,
Hit him with the hose.
you're probably worried that like you guys breathed something in when that backdraft washed over. You could tell there's something in the air, so your first thought is probably like decontamination immediately,
Right, we don't really.
You don't even know where to begin with like someone who somehow was out here when this happened, and you have no idea how this kid is still alive when you're looking.
Right, this is like ground zero for him.
I mean, it's not quite that bad, but I mean, it is. Yeah, for all intents and purposes, that's what it kind of looks like to you.
Well, I mean, most likely he won't survive. He or she, the child, won't survive any extended period of time. The only thing we could do for them is give them some kind of mercy killing.
At this point, the kid is about a zone away, and you can see that what at first you thought was just dirt and grime, which he's clearly covered in, you can see that his eyes are pretty much just black, pupilless orbs, and there are dark black veins running through his neck and his like forearms that you can see from torn clothing and things like that. And you can see one of his shoes is gone, and he's just walking through the snow. Doesn't seem to have any care in the world. And he's moving towards the APC, kind of reaching out. And when you say that, you all then feel and hear as Eckford just starts to accelerate and starts to drive away.
Really?
Yep. She doesn't say a word. She just like turns her head towards the road and just starts driving. Silva, she's kind of like, what the fuck, Eckford? Like, we gotta fucking go back, and she doesn't even say anything. She just keeps going.
I mean,
I told you I didn't trust the woman, sir.
You can see Eckford, like, I guess there's not a rearview mirror here, so she can't do, like, the look of the rearview mirror, you see her eyes, but that's what she would be doing if there was a rearview mirror. She just says, Captain, clearly the child's infected. It'll only be a matter of time. Hell, your squad could be infected if they were out there when this hits, so perhaps we worry about what's going on in here rather than what's going on out there. She's like, if you'd like me to stop, you're all welcome to get out and go help the child.
I mean, it's not like we've got much to offer him anyway. We're about to plausibly dive into the inferno over here.
Can you guys wait maybe 10 minutes? I'll go give him a quick over and see if there's anything we can do to save him.
Give me.
Are you serious?
Give me a manipulation test, please.
Sure.
Eckford's like, fine, and she stops the APC. She doesn't back up. She just stops it.
Okay, great. All right, so I will get out and I'll start walking towards the kid.
Does anybody get out with with him?
Absolutely not. Fuck these people.
Once he gets out, you see that Eckford closes the door on the APC again.
And I put my respirator on before I go out.
Okay.
One of my emergency ones.
All right, fair enough. So you start making your way towards this kid, and you can hear that he's clearly calling out for his mother and father. It's like the only sound other than the wind and the crunching of snow.
And as I get closer, it looks like he's basically just fully infected.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Okay. I will pull out my service pistol and I will just try to give him a clean, quick death.
Give me an attack roll. You will have +3.
Chris, while this is going on, I would like to roll a manipulation to encourage Eckford to drive away.
Okay, hold on. All right, so Mason, you pull out your gun, get ready to do what you thought you'd never have to do, and there's a change that comes over this kid. At this point, now that he's closer, you can see that his limbs, particularly his arms, are stretched far longer than they should be. His hand is almost dragging on the ground at this point, with the teddy bear still clutched in it, and the back of his head has kind of elongated, and his skin has this weird, almost translucent look to it. And as it moves closer to you, it looks like this kid just disintegrates before your eyes. Very similar to the engineer at the beginning of Prometheus after he drinks the black liquid. Like, his body just completely has like a cellular like breakdown, and then what's left of his ashes just kind of gets scattered to the wind, and you don't actually have to kill him yourself. But everybody gains a point of stress when they see this.
Well, none of them see that. None of them see that.
Oh,
right?
that's true.
Just
Yeah,
me.
so only you would get a point of stress. As you just see, like, he just disintegrates and he's gone. All that's left is the rotting, molted teddy bear.
Remove from Eckford. The over one.
I'm sorry,
Or
what?
2. A pro move from Mrs. Eckford.
Miss Eckford, yeah.
Miss Eckford, sorry.
And I'm sorry, what were you going to try to do, Hammer?
I was going to encourage Eckford to hit the gas and drive away, leaving Mason.
What do you say?
This son of a bitch has gotten us killed more than once, and we're not taking a chance on bringing this shit into the APC.
You see Eckford actually turns and looks back at you, and she says, "Got you killed more than once. You're all still standing."
Not any thanks to him. This guy hasn't led us into any successful battles. We've had to do it ourselves.
You see Silva says, "Don't you fucking hit that pedal, Eckford." And you see Eckford has this look on her face like she's deciding whether or not she should drive away. And at this point, Mason, you eventually return.
Man,
Probably have
I really wanted to roll by manipulation.
probably have a bit of a haunted look on your face, but he is unhurt. And when the door opens, you guys can all see that you don't see the kid anywhere. As if he was never there to begin with.
Is there shit on him? Like, is there like...
No. No, if there is, it's like microscopic. You wouldn't be able to see it. But no, he doesn't.
I take
Doesn't look
a
like
seat while I stare at Mason.
Okay. And then Eckford waits for you to sit down, and she kind of looks directly at you, Mason. She's like, now, unless there's anything else, can we get going?
Yeah, I think we're good.
She kind of looks to you, Hammer, and then over to Silva, and then she turns around. Is anybody in the passenger seat, or is everybody in the back?
Back.
Okay. All right. Well, the drive continues, and you finally reach. You finally reach right here where the highway turns into the main road that leads north into Fort Nebraska. And you can see it now fairly clear. There's not a lot of things obscuring your view at this point, and it looks like it is a smoking, it's been through hell. It's still standing. The walls still seem intact, more or less, but clearly, it's not up to operational standards as you would have hoped. And you guys begin making your way as Eckford's driving towards the front gate. You guys get to this crossroad right here, and it's fairly open around the fort, so the fort has clear lines of fire. I mean, there's a little bit of rubble here and there, but it is, there's some open ground between where you guys are. It looks like mostly any damage is actually to the ground and stuff like that. But you guys get there, and you guys can all see that the gate to the fort is still intact. And you guys know that this is a heavy-duty gate that would require serious firepower to try to bring down. And Eckford stops the APC at this point, and she kind of looks back to the group of you.
I'm gonna peek up. Is the route and everything more or less intact?
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple craters here and there, but nothing that you can't get around.
Okay.
She's like, well,
Can we call it in?
All the electronics are shot, right?
you see Eckford tries a couple, things with the radio APC, but most of it's back where you guys are, so Silva would actually probably be trying it, and she's trying to raise the base, and it's just, there's either nothing or there's the occasional static, but there's no answers.
We don't know of any, emergency or escape tunnels or anything nearby?
Semaphore, SOS
No,
signals that we could send in.
as far as you guys know, there's only one entrance in and out of the fort. However, if anybody wants to give me a comm-tech check, they can see if they can pick up anything on the radio. It'll be at -3.
I'll do one.
All right.
-3, you said?
Yep.
Ooh, I don't know if I don't even think I can roll that.
Does that leave you with no dice?
Yeah, that would be.
I rolled.
No dice. All right. Well, Chaplin gets on it, and yeah, Chaplin, you start to go through a couple channels, and you're not getting anything. It's just pure static and dead channels. There's nothing. You're not really picking up anything from the fort at all.
We are in anarchy.
As you're all kind of sitting here deciding what to do and trying to communicate with the base, you can see through the front viewport, you see a person, clearly infected, kind of stumbling around. And when they get closer to the fort, you see that the automated defense turrets, the sentry guns, spring to life and just shred this thing with bullets. And they look back and forth for a moment after being activated, and then it looks like they go back into standby guard mode. And you realize, with some sense of okay, this is good, and also a sense of, well, this isn't so good, that the base still has some sort of power going to it. Minimal. But the base is also defended by these big sentry turrets. Obviously one on either side of the gate, and then they're at the top of the battlements about every 30 meters around the fort itself. Now, the fort itself, the walls are massive. The walls to Fort Nebraska are almost 15 meters tall, and they're kind of at like an angle. So they angle from the ground towards the inside of the fort. Pretty sharp angle. Probably like 80 degrees, 70 degrees, something like that. But it's not a straight up and down wall. But there are defense turrets around everything.
Cool. Massive defense turrets that shoot what I assume anything that moves.
Yeah,
Sick.
Eckford acknowledges that.
Giant walls.
She's like, we might be able to take out the turrets with the APC's weapons, but we're probably going to have to expose ourselves to return fire if we do that.
Yeah, if possible. I prefer a way that we don't have to do that. Which still maintains the turrets, so in case anything else comes at us, or more UPP soldiers.
It says,
Yeah, so we can't just whip some ropes over and climb up that. Maybe, I don't know, if we could figure out improvised explosives or something, we could drive through, blow that up, drive through a portion of the wall. Rip it or rip it.
Eckford's
Probably don't want to blow up the wall either, but I don't know if we have enough ordnance.
Eckford says, Sergeant, I can get us through the gate. That's not the issue. The issue is getting past the turrets.
Is there a way for, like, Chaplin to remotely access them with his synth technology?
Probably not.
All right, then I guess we just kind of gotta blow them up.
Unless anybody else has any other ideas.
We're still in the tank thing, right?
Yes.
I don't know, could try to whip a flare or something like that into an area to distract the turret and hopefully just run past as it's firing out on the more obvious threats.
Silva says, well, that might get us part of the way there, but eventually it's going to pick up the movement of the APC. But
Do we know how it picks up, like, movement? Is it like infrared, just visual?
It has all
Thermal.
sorts of sensors. I believe it can do thermal and stuff like that as well if need be.
So there's not really going to be like a way we can spoof it and
You might be able to temporarily distract it, but you guys have a long way to go to get from where you're at, because the sentry guns have extreme range. So as soon as something's within that, it's such. At this point, you'd probably see like another figure shambling around somewhere that gets torn to shreds when it gets too close to the base. So you might be able to distract it and at least get a little bit closer before it turns its guns on you, but you feel at some point you're probably going to be taking fire.
and it looks like those kind of guns can shred through the APC.
Eventually. The APC is armored and it is meant to withstand, small arms to medium arms fire in some regards. So, it'd definitely be safer than trying to run on foot.
Of it.
That once you get to the wall, the sentry guns won't be able to see you. You'll kind of be in their blind spots. So if you can get to either the wall or the gate, they won't be able to actually draw a line on you.
Okay. Well, Iona, do you have like smoke grenades or anything? Or any grenade?
Let's see if either of them do. I don't know if you guys have anything here.
I'm out of grenades. I used all mine blowing up that building.
Yeah, you would.
It was very effective, thank you.
Yeah, Iona had
My guy
a
has one
regular
left if you want to
grenade.
use it.
Eckford does not have any sort of smoke grenades, or no, she doesn't have any grenades, to be honest. De Silva.
I'll give you my grenade.
Yeah, I mean, you might have regular grenades, but nothing like a smoke grenade or anything like that.
Dante looks like she's picked up an M5 RPG launcher. Not like smoke grenades or anything like that, but more of a standard explosive.
Yeah, you could use that as well.
If you just want to hit it.
Yeah, what's the plan here, basically? How you guys want to approach this?
I mean, we can't hit it from this range, and it outranges us, right?
Well, the rocket launcher that Dante has is also extreme range, so you could certainly try. And then let's see, the APC, it has a 25mm Gatling gun, which is extreme range, and it has 4 Hellcat missiles. There's a little missile launcher that can kind of pop up from the top, kind of like the rocket launchers on some of the 40K vehicles. It has 4 of those light missiles, which are only long range, though. Either way, you've got to get in range of the gun in order to shoot back at it.
Right. So there's 2 turrets, basically, that we have to be aware of?
Yeah, if you're going for the gate, yep, 1 on each side.
I guess the real question is, how much aluminum foil can we scrounge up? Because if it's enough to cover the APC, then I think it just reflects all the sensors, and then we're set.
Sounds like a plan. Let's just go back into the wasteland of hell and see if we can find some untarnished tinfoil.
I like that.
Yeah, how long would it take to find enough tinfoil to cover an APC in such a setting?
Oh, probably no time at all, right?
Hey, it's the Aliens universe. They got it lying around. Do we know if there's like an entrance at the back, or if there's another way in that might be less guarded? Probably not, I assume.
No,
never
there's only the one entrance. You guys do know that there is a once you get inside the gate and you're in the yard of the central part of the fort, there is a door that can open up that leads to a ramp that goes underground for the vehicles, and then basically the floor of most of the center yard is basically a big retractable door, kind of like do you remember the installation in GTA, like the secret hideout layer that you can buy? And it's got the big double doors that open up, and you can put the big plane inside, like there's the elevator. It's like that because the Cheyenne dropships can go down there, and then that's where they can rearm and refuel.
Ooh, okay.
But you have to get inside the fort to get to that, because that leads to just other parts of the fort. But as far as getting in, it's the front gate, or somehow get over or through the walls.
Cool.
Very cool.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't seem like there's a good way to get in over the walls. APC can't fly, really. So I guess Dante and someone who wants to mount that long-range guns just got to shoot the turrets.
Okay.
And I don't know.
Well, if anybody wants to man the turret, they can. Obviously, Eckford will drive to get you guys in range. Dante, are you going to get out on foot? Well, I guess you're going to have to if you want to use the gun or your rocket launcher, but...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you tell me how you guys want to handle this.
Yeah, I think popping out and trying to hit one of the turrets with the RPG would be good. If we need somebody else on a turret, I guess...
The immobile Iona?
The immobile, exactly.
Yeah, keep in mind, taking shots at extreme range is -3. So even though you're in range, it's much harder to hit your target. So keep that in mind as well.
Zmijewski is a good shot.
We could try to use the Hellfire missiles to, I don't know, like give us a cloud of cover
Okay.
until we're in closer range, but I don't know.
It's
I like
it's
that.
feasible. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a cool idea. Okay.
And then we come to a cool slide. Dante jumps out, gets to a knee, and just blasts one of them.
Okay, and then have the APC try to fire on the other one.
Maybe. We all just get out medium range and unload everything we can to try not
You
get shredded.
you could do that too, and just try to brute force it with the whole squad. Yeah. I mean, she's kind of like, well, I mean, if that's the plan here, she kind of is waiting for you guys to make a decision. So
Otherwise, if we want to not get out of the APC, we just use the Hellfire missiles to create a cloud of cover while the APC guns it towards that door, and Iona in the turret blasts whatever he can.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. Is we could do one like quick burst, have Dante pop out, throw an RPG out, but otherwise, just fire what we can fire from the APC and cruise on through. Let's hope that that's enough. If one
Fingers crossed.
person, well, yeah, I guess one caveat to that is like when Dante hops out, fires, if we could get somebody,
To
a
drag
crew of
Dante
2
back
people
in.
to help drag people back in as quickly as humanly possible.
I think it would be me and Zmijewski, since Hammer's hands don't work, and Iona's
Can't do
not
shit.
going to be able to move his legs.
do you guys have
So.
access to the Fort Nebraska map yet?
No, we do not.
Okay,
Nope.
let me change that so you guys can get a closer look at the front here. You guys would all know what this looks like, so. Okay, you should have Fort Nebraska now, and I can drag everybody here, I think. You guys have it now? At the top of your bar at the top?
Yeah, on the top right.
Okay, you guys should be able to click
But,
on it now.
It's loading, so my whole screen's black right now.
Oh, cool. Alright.
Okay, yeah, I see it.
Okay. So you have to zoom in. This is one of those maps where the tokens are tiny as shit. As you can see here by Dante's little token. I'll just put,
Jesus.
here's what we'll do. We don't need Dante there right now. We'll do Silva. Make this a little bigger for you so you can actually see what the hell it is. Let's do that. There we go. Okay. So yeah, you guys are basically here. This is where the APC is. You're going to be driving up that, and there's basically a sentry gun on either side of the gate here. Well, I guess the gate's right here, so it's on either side of the gate because the gate's by the wall. So, what is the plan here? Is it to get within a certain range, stop, and let people get out, and then attack? Is that what I'm hearing?
I think it was Dante gets out, lines up a shot at long range, blasts. 2 people pull Dante in, and then we gun it while shooting Hellfire missiles to try to get some cover. Right?
Yeah, I agree with the missiles for smoke cover, because I don't think we can rely on contesting the 2 turrets lest we die.
Right.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. I wanted to attempt to draw some things into the perimeter wall with an initial fire of like a flare or something. Do we have any flares or anything of that nature?
I do not possess any
probably have
flares.
I don't think so.
On the APC,
Oh.
I would imagine.
If we could just like tangentially convince a couple wandering, I guess we shouldn't still call them civilians at this point.
Infected?
Infected.
Possessed?
That might
Okay.
give us a
well-
slightly more cover, and then we can use obfuscation of the missiles and smoke.
So
second phase.
when you say you're going to get into long range, do you mean like drive until you're within long range instead of extreme range and then get out?
I mean, that's going to really be up to Dante, since Dante's going to be the one that's getting out.
Okay, Dante, how close do you want Eckford to get before she stops and lets you out?
Yeah, long range sounds
Okay.
like a good plan
All right.
on that side.
Long range
Just
is
a little bit
long range
less than
is -2. Once you're out,
screen.
are you guys gonna open fire on the other one, or let Dante take a shot, hop back in, and keep driving?
I think that was the plan, yeah. Dante takes a shot, hops back in, and we just keep gunning it.
Correct.
And is she just gunning it for the gate at that point to get out of the arc of
The
fire?
line of sight. Yeah.
Okay. Eckford's like, okay, well, you're the military people here. Sounds like a terrible plan, but okay.
So we're doing the best we can with what we got, okay?
If you have any suggestions, now's the time to speak up.
Well, she's like, if we're gonna get out and fire, why don't we just all attack and use the weapons on this thing? What's the point in getting out, shooting one rocket, maybe destroying one of them while we're getting shot the whole time? At that rate, why don't we just floor it and pray that we make it to the gate?
Yeah, I'm not opposed to that at all.
I think we go boom.
Should we just chuck something in outside of range and then crank it?
Try? Basically, you guys all know that if you try to distract these things, you'll probably distract them for like a round. And then whatever you distracted them with, the sentry guns are going to realize something else is moving and they're going to start firing on you. So, and it, let me see how fast you guys can get through this. This is a pretty big open area here, so you got to get through 3 zones of movement in order to, before you're out of their arc. So she could just floor it. You'll take a turn of, you'll take 2 rounds worth of fire if you do that without her stopping.
Ooh, yes. Do it. Do it.
Obviously, you can be firing with the APC weapons while you're doing this as well. So
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mason, Sergeant Mason, fucking gun it. Tell her to gun it.
okay,
Zmijewski will man some kind of firearm.
okay, you can get on the turret if you'd like. If somebody else wants to control the missiles, they can, and she will floor it. So the moment you guys cross the threshold of the distance of the sentry guns, they both turn. You can hear them whir up, and they just begin opening fire. So these things don't have to worry about distance because they're automated. So the first one
Be awesome.
does 2 successes, and the second one does 2 successes. And what is the damage on these things?
Well, at least they're consistent.
Yeah. Oh shit, they are base damage 4. Let me just make sure there's nothing else here. Yep. Okay. Well, the APC is armor 8. So, somebody want to roll 8 dice for me? Somebody else roll 8 dice for me?
Sure.
They're taking 2 hits at 5 damage apiece.
It's 8d6.
Yes. Not a single one. Someone else please roll. Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Better have a real good roll here, buddy.
Is someone rolling, or do you want me to roll?
Go for it.
Okay.
There we go. Oh, Zmijewski with 3 6s. Well done. So that is it was total of 10,
Hail Santa.
10 damage minus 3 is 8. The APC instantly starts to take incredibly heavy fire. At first, it's little dinks and tangs as the bullets are ricocheting off, but very soon the volume of fire increases, and you can see that some of the bullets are starting to get through, maybe some through the front port, and Eckford ducks down to avoid getting hit, and it gets louder and louder, and eventually there's a sickening kind of crunch as the APC comes to a dead stop, and you're about halfway to the gate. The APC is done for. Zmijewski, you may make an attack with one. Whoever wants to attack with the APC weapons, you can as you're driving through the blazing gunfire.
Were the missiles giving us any kind of cover or anything?
Are you using them for cover, or are you going to use them to try to attack?
I thought we wanted to use them to give us like some kind of cloud of cover, but
If you'd like, somebody.
if it's too late,
No.
we might as well just.
If you'd like.
No, yeah, the missiles was for the cover, and then the turrets we're gonna try and.
Okay, well, Zmijewski, make an attack with the Gatling gun, and this thing rolls. Let me see how many dice you get with this. You're gonna make a ranged attack, and you get +3 to the roll, and its base damage is 3. And I assume you're gonna wait until you're in long range, so you're a little bit closer.
Right.
Okay, so you're at -2, and then +3 from the gun, and then your regular ranged attack.
So range combat with a plus total what?
It'll be
Plus
plus
one?
1. Yep.
God damn!
I like it.
I was.
Do you want to push?
No,
Yes.
that's pretty good. Oh God.
All right.
Keeping it together.
Yep.
So a total of 7 successes.
Okay. Base damage 3 plus 6. That's 9 damage. Okay. Well, Zmijewski, you apparently have like operated every firearm in existence according to these rolls, and you instantly shred one of the sentry guns as you return fire. Not before it does some extreme damage to the APC, but you give it a great shot, and you see a little plume of an explosion as you just tear it to pieces. Unfortunately, you burn through like the first chamber of bullets as you're doing this, and you would need to reload the thing here. If somebody else wants to roll for the missiles, let's see here. What are these?
I'm gonna make.
Can I like smash my hands to see
Yeah,
if like
do
I hit
that.
the missiles?
No, so you can't operate it without any hands here. So it's a ranged attack at +2. Well, -2 because you're at long range, so it'll be just straight up.
Martin. Oh, this is ranged.
Okay. Do you want to push? 3 successes.
At that point, yeah, definitely, right?
Because you push the. Yeah, why not?
Okay.
Perfect.
Another
You
success.
should be.
But
You should be fine though.
All right. So yeah, you're fine. You can't
Too good.
really get anything that bad. Well, I guess you could, but so you land these missiles perfectly. Unfortunately, you do just burn through. Well, I guess it doesn't really run out of ammo because it's 4 separate shots, so you don't have to worry about that. But you do get a great shot. There's a huge plume of smoke and dirt that, kind of erupts in front of you guys, and Eckford's basically trying to drive through that to give you guys some extra cover here. So I'll tell you what, go ahead and roll me 4 dice, Matt, as armor dice against the roll for your 4 successes here. Survey says, ooh, well done. 2
Pretty good.
successes. The APC is still going. It's really fucked up and damaged, but it keeps going. And there's only 1 sentry gun to open fire this round. Let's see what happens. Oh, 4
Can you
successes.
stop?
Um,
You stop, Doc?
no, I can't. I fucking love this game. All right. Somebody roll me 8 dice, please, for the APC. Against 6 damage. Oh, you tried. That's only 1. Okay.
What does the cover of missiles give us?
Oh, that's right. That's right. Roll the missiles as well here, Iona. Or at this point, you're close enough you could shoot the sentry gun if you want.
Well, Zmijewski's on the sentry gun, and Iona's on the missiles.
He burned through the ammo on the Gatling gun. He's got to reload it, so he's not going to have a chance to shoot.
Rip.
So Iona, if you want to make an attack with the next missile to either give you cover or you can shoot at the sentry gun.
Gotta go.
At this
big.
point, you're
range combat.
you're at short range, so there's no negative, so it'll be +2 to your ranged attack roll. And I'm sorry, are you shooting at the turret or just to give cover?
Yeah, we'll shoot at the turret.
Okay. All right. You want
Push.
to push? It's base damage 5 from the missile.
It's pretty good.
But you've got like 9 extra dice that could fix it.
All right.
Okay, another
Gosh.
panic. All right, roll that panic.
That's 4 successes.
Okay.
Oh no.
Everybody's
That's still 9.
your
That's-
stress goes up by
or
1,
10.
unfortunately, as you drop an item. However, that is 5, 6, 7, 8 damage to the sentry gun. That will annihilate it.
See?
And as
The
the
push
explosion
works.
goes off, the APC screeches to a halt in front of the gate, smoking, damaged, and on its last limb, but it is gotten you there, and you are all still alive.
This is how you would say nailed it.
All according to plan.
Who said that was a bad plan?
It worked out.
See, the dumbest plans are the best plans because when they do work, that's the best story.
Right?
You have a point there.
I also like how Hammer's trying to die and just can't.
I can't. I cannot.
We are keeping him alive at all costs, so he
took
can
my
suffer
hands
for the rest
away.
of his life without hands.
He's just sitting there sobbing into his like just nubby palms. Why?
I mean, shit, they can give him cybernetics.
I
Tante's
mean,
got a metal spine now. She's
Kung Fu
basically
grip
Iron Man.
Seems pretty cool.
Yeah.
Too many people care about you, Hammer. That's the worst curse of all.
I know, right? It's like, oh, he's a squad member, but I hate him. But he's a squad member. He's gonna kill himself. Ah, damn it, he's a squad member.
He's a dick, but he's also a homie. Can't leave your homies alone.
Oh man, I really want to achieve this objective too.
Yeah, mine's not what I expected it to be.
Same.
All right. The group of you step out of the APC. It is smoking. It is riddled with bullets. And it looks like if someone were to, like, slap this thing hard enough, it would probably fall apart. But you find yourself standing in front of the massive gate of Fort Nebraska. And you see that Eckford gets out, and she walks up to the gate, and she starts working on one of the panels. And anybody who's watching her would see that she pulls like what you guys know are like access key cards. They're kind of like something that she's wearing around her neck, like on a lanyard. And she puts that into the card reader, and it looks like she's getting the gate open. And after a moment or two, and one thing that would all kind of surprise you is that you would all know, especially Chaplin, that to override something like this would require at least a key card of someone of the rank of major or higher. And as far as you all know, Eckford does not have any military rank.
Okay. Kind of weird, but okay.
What are you talking about, Matt? Are you talking about something on the map?
Oh, kind of. Not that was mostly half
just
a
shit
joke.
posting.
Oh, okay.
Kinda, yeah.
All right. Oh, that.
I wonder
see.
how she got in.
I see. Yeah, okay. The Wayland Yutani logo. Sorry if you can hear my cat.
We can't but tell him he's doing a great job.
He is. He loves to be on the podcast. Anywho, yeah, you see that she her access key card overrides the door, and as she's doing this, she says, "The base is in lockdown, gentlemen and lady." And she says to Silva.
Dante or no Dante?
Oh yeah, Dante too. I'm sorry. It's
No,
keep
it's
track
okay.
of here.
I'm just joking.
But then she gets the door open and it's slowly.
She has no military rank, but she's able to open the door.
Yep.
Okay.
I mean, I should say you don't see any military rank displayed on her. She could be, but you don't know of any military rank that she has. And eventually the doors open up, and you guys find yourself able to drive through and basically get to here where the guardhouse is. And when you get to this area, you can see on the map here where it says sub-level ramp. That is the ramp I was talking about that opens up. It's flush to the ground. The door is flush to the ground, and it opens up so that you can kind of go underground, kind of like the bunkers in GTA, where the door rises up from the ground, and then it has an opening to go down into the tunnels below. And what you all instantly notice as you're making your way there is that the top of the door that this ramp opens up from, there is no snow on it. It is almost crystal clear compared to the rest of the ground around it. And she stops the APC here for you guys to decide what you want to do. You can also see, now that you're in the base, the guardhouse in front of you is still standing, as are the crude oil storage tanks. However, you can all see that the west wing and the southwest bastion are in complete ruins. They've suffered extreme damage. There's still some fires and smoke here and there, tons of rubble, and the two emplacement guns, those are the orbital cannons to shoot at ships in space, are completely annihilated.
Oh, shit.
The east wing similarly seems... It hasn't suffered as much damage, but it looks pretty fucked up, and neither of the guns appear to be operating, the emplacement guns. The only thing that really seems to still be in any semblance of a peace is the North Bastion.
Jesus. All right.
And in particular, there's really no fire from the East Wing. It looks like that probably got hit first. Maybe any fires there have burnt out, but it does look like it's mostly rubble. But the West Wing still has some active fires going on, and so does the Southwest Bastion.
All right. I guess it was in lockdown before. We should probably keep it in. Like, is she able to relock the door?
Yes.
Or the gate?
Yes. You can
Okay.
do that.
Ask her to do that. Make sure it's
Yeah, you'd probably do that before you drove all the way up here, so we'll assume that she did.
right. And I guess we were supposed to meet up with our commanding officer, right?
Otherwise, yeah, when you guys get in here, it's quiet. There's really no movement or sound other than the fires in the distance. And this area here in front it's completely wide open, although you can see that there are signs of, the planetary invasion, lots of craters and rubble, bodies of dead Marines. You can see, some of the black shit that was in the air might have stained some snow here and there. Well, I guess not so much because this is kind of far off from where the blast was, but clearly the fort took quite the beating in the UPP attack. And then you guys can see here, this is the retractable door that goes down into the canyon bay for the drop ships. That is currently closed. I mean, so is the ramp, but the ramp door doesn't have any snow on it.
So we can figure it has been opened at some point in the near.
I mean, things like tanks and stuff had to get out too, right? So, is it safe to assume like the tank we saw was probably came from?
Oh, you don't know. I mean, you know that like the Star Fort has a tank guarding it, like at the gate, so it could have been a tank out on patrol or something too, or it was sent out.
Oh, okay.
You know, after
That's
the
fair.
invasion started. So you're not sure, but it looks. It doesn't just look like the snow has been removed because it was opened. Like the door looks like I don't want to say pristine, but like it is like perfectly. There's not a dot of snow on it. It kind of has a sheen like it's wet. The top.
Yeah,
of the
can I go up and touch it, see if it's like hot or warm?
Yes, you do, and you actually burn your hand. You take a point of damage. It is scalding when you touch it.
Fucked for your curiosity.
Yeah, but we learned something. It's probably on fire because basic fire safety tells us it shouldn't be that hot.
Basic fire safety.
They have to have OSHA in this
As
universe.
he
It has to
as he
exist.
peels off the first layer of skin from the door.
Let me just pull out my fire, checklist here.
You have to have it
Step one.
memorized if you're, this level of corporal or sergeant.
Be cool about fire safety.
Yeah, I had to watch the 3-hour-long video when I got promoted.
What do you guys do? It's eerily quiet.
I guess we don't want to go down there.
I don't think so. I assume our comms and stuff still aren't working, so we can't hail our commanding officer.
No, it doesn't seem like it.
And the gun emplacements are for land to space.
Yes. Yeah, they're orbital cannons.
Okay. Maybe just stomp across the yard and go into the North Tower. Is that where like the base of the orbital route sort of thing is?
Yes, the orbital lifter is in the North Bastion. The orbital elevator.
Okay.
I probably want to go to the north one so we can get to that elevator.
Okay. Well, you guys begin to, I guess probably drive the APC over there, unless you guys just march over. I don't know if the APC can actually get around the guardhouse to drive around.
I was gonna say, is it even functional enough to get there anymore?
Yeah, I mean, I don't really know. I'm gonna say no, because the idea, because all the storage garage for all the vehicles is down this ramp right here. So we'll assume no, you can't just drive around out here. So you guys are on foot at this point, making your way across this area. Would everybody please give me an observation test?
If we have folks on foot, I think at that point we're
There's
Iona
one thing I want to be able to do is roll an observation test.
in the turret.
Pushing that. All right. Fucking nothing.
Jesus.
I'm sorry, what were you saying, Matt, about Iona?
Oh, being unable to walk, I think, unless we want to like.
And hammer carry
I
you.
guess- I mean, we could definitely, between the group, just drag folks along at least for now, and then he can hang out if we get into a firefight or something. Because I think obviously everybody needs to get off world, so it's not like there's gonna be a big button in the route there that's gonna be like, oh, banish all problems from the world. So we might as well. We're gonna need to keep the squad together. Drag Iona with us.
Who's-
I mean, you could
presumably.
just banish the whole planet, and then all the problems are going with it.
Right.
Who's carrying Iona?
I'll carry her.
Yeah,
Okay.
Diggy's got it.
I got to be able to do something.
Okay. We'll probably do the fireman's carry. It doesn't really require your hands, so to speak, or just your arms. So it's not easy. As you guys make your way across, again, there's lots of craters out here. Looks like the door suffered some damage, but it still seems intact. And you cross to the North Bastion. You do see there are 3 ATVs in the yard here. 2 of them are overturned from, something, probably an explosion, but they look fairly undamaged. Otherwise, it's quiet as you guys make your way across here. And for Chaplin and Zmijewski, who passed their observation, and so did Mason here, you guys see as you're making your way across the yard, basically off to the right here, near like a door that leads into the east wing, you can see the signs of what looks like a serious fight that went down here. You see there is... Let me get my notes, make sure I'm giving you the right description. So you see there are several dead Marines and several dead UPP soldiers. There's a lot of blood and the signs of a firefight. You can see bullet holes and trails of blood. And amongst all of this, you see that there is one UPP soldier who's like laying, like he's kind of over some rubble on his stomach, and you see that there is a sword that's been driven through his back. And all of you instantly recognize the hilt of the sword is that really fancy sword that Major Hatfield had back when you had your first briefing here, when you first all met. And you can see there's a bloody trail from that body towards the wall, and eventually you find the body of Major Hatfield, dead, terribly wounded, leaning against the wall. He's sitting on his butt with his back against the wall, and he's kind of slumped over. Looks like he's got a huge wound in his gut. You see he's still got his access key card around his neck, and he's got one of his firearms is nearby in his hand. But it looks like he died from whatever injuries he sustained.
Grab his key card for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you have a major level key card now.
And his sword.
Yeah, so it's that old antique sword from back in the day, and he definitely put it to work here.
Can I take that sword and maybe wrap it around my forearm so it's a spear?
He's trying to be Ash from Evil Dead, isn't he?
You gotta lose the hand first, and then get a chainsaw, then we'll talk.
I have a cutting torch.
It's Cyber Ash. Perfect. Happy Halloween, everyone.
Well, Mason, you said you grabbed the sword first, so you have it right now.
Cool. I'm gonna keep it.
Okay. And then before you can see the entrance into the. Let me get to the other map here, to the North Bastion. Now, you guys know that the North Bastion is basically the command center of the base. It's 2 floors, so you can see there's a first floor and a second floor on top of that. And then you know that there are 3 sublevels to that as well. And this is where the climber car is located. And basically on this map that you guys are on now, basically right where these little dotted lines go, that's where the doors are. There's one here, and then there's one on the other side that goes into the North Bastion. Both doors are currently shut. You know those each go into one of the lobbies that then lead further into the base.
I'm gonna take his key card over there and scan the. I mean, there's got to be some type of.
Okay. Yeah, so you, which one do you go into, the left or the right?
I'm gonna use my hands and point to the right.
Okay. All right, well, you open the door, and let me activate another map level here really quick. You guys should now have Fort Nebraska North Bastion. Oh, wait, hold on, I gotta give you access here.
Yes, it's loading.
Okay. North Bastion level 1. What do you guys see right now? Is it mostly a black screen?
No, it's fully
We
clear.
see the whole thing.
Okay. I can't remember because these maps are all jacked up. So, you guys are coming through the right-hand side here. Okay. Again, don't mind the giant tokens because this map is all jacked up. Okay, where's Iona? Iona, we're gonna put you to the side here with Silva and Dante. You'll hop in right there. Put them off to the side. And let's throw Eckford on here as well with her tiny token. I think it was 2 times size. Let's see. Yep. Okay. All right. You open the door, and are you guys able to move your tokens at all? I don't know if there's walls on this map or not. Okay, no. Okay, good. So as you make your way into this area, you are in a lobby. There's a front desk here that you can see. There's one of the elevators to your immediate left. And then at the end of the hall, you can see there's a door that goes further down into the hall that goes throughout this level of the base. On the right here, there's a door that leads to the east wing, which you can tell is all destroyed and rubble. And then this door right here leads to a shaft that has a ladder that goes up to the 2nd floor. However, as you guys enter this room, you see that it is not what you normally would expect here. Every inch of this room is covered in some sort of weird grayish, blackish, organic growth. Everything in here is incredibly humid and damp. There's a lot of moisture on the walls and on the floor, and as you walk, you can hear like a kind of a squishing noise when you guys are walking across the floor. And to all of your horror, you see that there are several other Marines in various states of consciousness, and they all appear to have been cocooned within this weird organic growth, and they're all hanging from the walls, unable to really move, as they're trapped in this weird material. And that is where we will call it for this evening.
Very cool. A lot happened.
What a
It was nice
Hanger.
knowing you.
Damn it.
We're-
Someone
yeah,
got-
we're-
We almost did it.
All
guys.
right, guys. All right.
We almost survived. But
All right.
fucking aliens.
All right, now we
Whoever's
flip
got-
it around.
Whoever's got grenades left, put them on my back. I'm gonna charge in.
Yeah, it's no longer how many can we prevent from dying. It's all right. Let's see how many we can sacrifice for the good of the game. You know,
Right.
someone's gonna win, no matter how many of us it costs.
Well, there you have it, folks. We'll see what happens next time as the group has finally made it to the interior of Fort Nebraska. So, thank you all for listening and joining us here tonight. I hope you've enjoyed what you've heard so far. And everybody have yourselves a happy Halloween. And we'll be back as we get to the near end here of Destroyer of Worlds. Nights.